Joe, mate, round 7 is over. I was going to start this stream with a joke, but, I'm not going to talk about anything else. How you doing, mate? Nice to see you.
Good to see you too, Jay. How's it going, everyone? Welcome once again to yet another Monday night live stream, which is, of course, the hottest live stream on the internet, dare I say it. Thursdays go all right too, but Mondays tend to pop off absolutely off the charts. Much love to everyone who was already waiting for us, all 15 of you. Come on in, one and all. Tell your friends, tell your family. We're about to get naked. No, okay, probably not that far. But come on in, guys. We're going to get excited. We're going to talk about some SuperCoach. Come on in and
roast up for today. Joe's getting naked on the stream. Watch out, everybody.
Mate, I basically am with what Max Gawn has done to me. I feel like the naked emperor. The emperor without clothes. Mate, that was really bad. Fading Max Gawn has been just a little problematic for me this year.
There's a very famous George video that everyone's watched. Hopefully we can show it off a bit later, maybe, of what happens when you don't own Max Gawn. And unfortunately, Joe's been suffering with that for at least the past week, but he's been able to cover up until probably about this week. Jordan's week gives you some relief, though, Joe.
It does. Rowan Marshall can just get in the bin. Where is it? I have to get used to this. Rowan Marshall, get in the mother flipping bin. What a tragic trading he has been. Honestly, he's given me nothing but shit. So he could get stuffed. Rowan Marshall, get in the bin, son. And never again. Bloody hell. Bloody hell.
It's a bit of a tricky one, isn't it? I almost suffered it with Grundy this week. I don't know if anyone saw my Twitter, but yeah, Grundy, with, let's say, 4 minutes left to go in the game, was on 65 SuperCoach. Decided that in the last 30 seconds, the man was going to come in and then, get quite a few touches and a couple of handballs and a kick and a mark. So in that sense, I was very lucky, but did nothing after the first quarter. Gave away a 50-meter and a goal to Meek, who obviously ended up scoring more and then was absent for basically the whole game, Joe.
Oh, no. Oh, cheese. $2.99.
Joe's getting the donations already, mate. Just fix the team, Joe. You'll be right.
Mate, all I got to do, clearly we've cracked the code. You have to absolutely do so shit that people pity you and give you donations to help you get over your grief. Cheese, I love you so much, brother.
Shorty must have made like $1 million over the last few years then, because that guy always struggles every year.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad.
It doesn't live stream enough. That's the problem.
No, it doesn't live stream enough. There you go. Oh, cheers, Velo. Mate, Metallica, very nice. Charles, hi, guys. What's your thoughts on Dale? Is it too much of a gamble with Bevo? Bro, there's no such thing as too much of a gamble with Bevo, because he always raises the stakes with this guy.
I mean, Bevo, what? There was talk that Bevo was already going to bench Garcia if Libba wasn't out and all these things happening. So, I mean, it's always big problems with him. But I think Dale, similar to a Dawson, has always been around the mark. Probably not to the same extreme as what the Dawson situation was. But Dale, Primo, they kind of go hand in hand a little bit. He's not going to be top 8. Let's hope so anyway, because people are going to get him at 440K if he is, but I think you can do worse. I just think right now you probably want to upgrade to an actual Primo. Dale at 440K really feels like, it's round 15 and I have 2 trades left and I've got to kind of finish my team.
Yeah, if you're looking at Bailey Dale's, Bailey Dale really wasn't on.
Thanks, Adamo.
Adamo! Baldacchino, Massimo D'Ambrosio, molto bello. Thank you so much, Adamo. Oh, bello. Oh, mate, you're unbelievable. Thank you so much. We're building up that cash for Gawn for you.
You going off, mate, Joe?
You guys are too generous.
Velo's jumped in on it as well.
Oh, Velo as well. Oh, cash tissues, mate. I wish it was America, because then we'd have $1 bills that I can actually wipe my tears with. He's giving me metal coins for me to dig into my eyes so that I don't have to watch Max Gawn anymore. Oh, thank you all so much. You guys are all generous, absolutely generous human beings. We don't deserve you here on the Center Browns. You guys are what make the channel. Honestly, you guys are absolute superstars. Yeah. But talking about Bailey Dale, he was on nobody's radar at all at any point in time until only recently when he's popped off for a 175 and a 132. Like,
yeah,
he goes from sub.
Bonkers. Yeah,
he goes from sub to 175, 132. How, Sway?
It's Bevo, right? That's kind of the big problem. He's moved Ed Richards, who usually takes a little bit of his points, or they share a bit of points. He's moved Ed Richards to the midfield, or at least getting a lot more of that midfield ball, which has really just opened a lot for Bailey Dale. I don't think you're going to get another 130, but the Dogs don't have a huge amount of scorers, so it's not going to end up being a Gold Coast kind of everyone scoring over 100 situation, but potentially Bailey Dale 110 average, and for the price, there's options. Larry Emder, I don't know if he has Bailey Dale or not, Joe. Scroll down. Career over if he doesn't own Bailey. You're missing the ad.
Where am I looking?
The ad. Scroll up.
The ad?
Come on.
What ad?
Scroll up.
Oh, Larry's media career
Larry
is over.
Clearly doesn't have Bailey Dale or Max Gawn.
Mate, it should be my face. Someone needs to Photoshop my face here. Joe's SuperCoach career over. Joe didn't know that Max Gawn was the #1 player for the year. Click on that link and then you'll take you to the red hot press there. But no, I can't go Bailey Dale. I mean, 92 average now, 90 last year, 101, 92. Like, these type of averages are not top 6. Are not top 6 to 8. So for me, the only thing going for him is that he is cheap. Cheap, man.
Cheap is good, man. Cheap is very good.
Cheap is very good because because there's really no one else that you could possibly even want to trade in the back line
for that price. No,
maybe
how much is not illegally Mac Andrew? Is Mac Andrew getting around that price now?
You won't get Mac Andrew over.
Yeah. If this was the start of the season, you could go back and get Elliot Yeo. Boy, oh boy, Joe. Bloody Elliot Yeo. I say it again and again. This guy's a freak. You had gone and got Elliot Yeo at any point during the season, you'd be very, very, very happy. 3-round average of 135 for Elliot Yeo. Get in.
He's too expensive now.
I know.
He's too expensive.
How bad is that? Elliot Yeo is too expensive.
610K. What's going on?
Expensive. Yep. So if you had him, you'd be very happy. But
bro, let's just go back. Look at Elliot Yeo. Seriously, Elliot Yeo. His last 5 seasons, he hasn't been able to play 2 games in a row or something. Like, look at his 10 games.
Same thing happened with Tim English last year, though. Remember, Tim English was like, "Yeah, can't play, whatever." Comes out with a 130 average for the season. Whenever we hear a player goes to Abu Dhabi and goes and gets the jabs, you get him in for the whole season, Joe.
That's that magic Arabian night, Arabian spice. So Arabian night, like Arabian days. Get some Aladdin going.
Just his scoring's been phenomenal. I mean, he hasn't. What's his lowest score? A 102. Come on.
So far this year, he scored 82.
82. Sorry, 82. Yeah. So an 82. Cool. Like,
and then bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes things very exciting for those people that actually have him in their teams.
Oh, no one. Even the owners did not expect Yeo my only good pick for the year. There you go, West Coast Eagles. Well done, mate. I mean, even you could not have predicted. Even you couldn't have predicted or hoped that you're going to get a 118 average out of Yeo so far in the season.
Yeah, I mean, like every week I kept saying, Elliot Yeo, watch out. Elliot Yeo's really cheap. Get him into your team. Get him into your team. And then in the back of my head, I had, he's going to get injured. He's going to get injured. Oh, he's going to get injured. Now, there was a bit of a talk today from the coach saying, hey, we've just rested Harley Reid. Maybe we'll rest Elliot Yeo a little bit throughout the season. But when that happens, it's really kind of coming up to anyone's thoughts. So, yeah, could be never, could be kind of resting him over the buys. Who knows, Joe? What's up, guys?
Yeah. What's up, everybody? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Long-time watcher, first-time commenter, using the kids' YouTube. Go the Dons. Calm the Bombers, mate. Get around the Bombers. Mate, we drew. I'm very happy with that result. I really am.
Yeah, I mean, I would be too. You still get some points. And another one of your just bloody amazing games, Joe. Like, you have all these games. I remember last year, and just talking to you off air, it's a little bit like North Melbourne, right? Oh, we got smashed. We didn't look very good. The guys don't know how to play. At least you're competitive now. And looks fantastic.
It's always good. Theo, how's it going, brother? Grundy to Sweet. Which other rookie should I get? It's got to be... There's two, I think, that are on the bubble this week, apart from Sweet. There are two.
Yep. Who's our two? See, I know one, but I don't know if you know all of them.
Oh, I only know two that matter, I think. I thought it's either Rogers in the midfield or Riley Garcia in the forward line.
Yeah, no, that's who I was thinking too.
Oh, okay. Hey, I also run this channel as well, not just you.
All right, mate.
So, you got two boys. You got two players who you can get in this week. It's either, let me just filter here by break even. There are two bubble boys worth getting apart from Jordan Sweet. Riley Garcia, he is forward only, 125K. Whoa, gee, I zoomed in a lot there, but it could work. With the news.
Oh, and potentially Naismith as well, but, I don't think you pick him over Sweet. Unless you go really cheap. You could have a really cheap ruck line, Joe. Just downgrade to Sweet and Naismith, and then you're like, cool, done. Finish the rest of my team. Who needs rucks?
Nah, the thing is, the thing with Sweet, is guaranteed games for the next month at least. Whereas Naismith, who knows? But Riley Garcia, and I think Riley Garcia's job security has only gotten better with the news that Cody Waitman is going to miss some significant time now. I think he's actually going to go and get surgery because on his left elbow. He's going to miss at least 6 weeks. So that could be really beneficial for Riley Garcia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so as well. I don't trust Bevo, though. Like, Garcia fits the mold, right? We've had Baker, we've had McNeil, we've had McAndrew, all these other players throughout the year. Mature age guy comes in, plays forward, does quite well, especially coming through their VFL system. Garcia fits that mold. But Bevo is Bevo, and you don't want to bring this guy in and for him to get Bevo'd already. I mean, I've been stuck with Biggie Newen. I don't think you have him, Joe. Hopefully he survives.
I have him as well.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Hopefully he survives for a bit longer. But you just don't want to kill the cash gen. This week is a beautiful week to go one up, one down if you don't have any boosts. And I don't know if you really want anyone else. All my rookies aren't ready to go. I mean, I don't even think I've got a rookie who's like at the top now, apart from the guys I've actually got on field. Like Dempsey's probably Dempsey and Cadman are my two guys that probably need to think about going, and then that's it.
Yep.
So could be doing a lot worse this week, I think.
For sure. So Jake Rogers is the other one. Now Jake Rogers had a sub-affected game in the first round. The first time around, which is why his average is only 63, having scored a 98 on the weekend. But he looked really good. Because of that sub-risk, I wouldn't be 100% positive of having him on the field. Definitely one to have on your bench and just hope with the way he performed on the weekend that he isn't subbed anymore, considering how well he performed. I think he's also getting a contract extension as well. So Jake Rogers... Get him in. Get him in. I think he's your
as well.
Exactly. Rising star. You don't really tend to have those guys as subs.
nomination. He's not won the Rising Star, but
of course.
nomination. Yeah.
But you don't really sub people like that, considering that he's won that nomination. And as Sim here says, there is no Matt Roses for the next 6 weeks. So that obviously also improves his job security. So if you're going to only get one in, you get Jake in.
I think one thing to worry about, though, is Jake did have a really poor game one. So only scored that 29, I think, in game one, or 28. So you don't have to pick him up this week. You can always grab him at like a 150K. Say, cool. I think he's 150K now. You probably get him at like 170K. Just be like, cool, okay, we'll see how we go from there. But you might just not want to. There's a lot of rookies coming out after next week. So, yeah.
Mikey, how's it going,
What's up,
Mikey,
Mike?
brother? Durham dropped a few marks and a game-winning goal assist off his 95. My ruck is Gawn, English, and Naismith. English might get chopped. No, don't do that, Mikey. Don't trade out English to get Sweet. Really?
Yeah, I was considering doing it with Grundy. I know a few people are considering doing it with potentially English as well. I know. Joe, you're probably considering jumping off Rowan Marshall at this point. So there is something to be said about it. The only thing I have with Sweet is I might run him off the bench, to be honest. Like, if he covers me through the buys, fantastic. But the job security and just the level of scoring, I don't know how viable it is for him to keep this up. And I would hate to be the person who has him at R2. I mean, we said the same thing about Meek, right? And Meek's come out with a 100 average, basically. But you'd hate to be the guy that has Sweet as R2. And then you just like, cool, you dropped to 45 and now I'm just behind. So something to take.
Keep him at R3. Keep him at R3 for this week and have Livingston at R2. And then you get to see if he pops off. See, I already went early on him last week. So I have this luxury of being able to leave him at R3. And if he scores well, then I can trade out Marshall to take his score and bring Livingston back into R2. So I have that flexibility. But with English, I think English is R2 for the year, obviously after Gawn being R1. So if you've already got Gawn and English, I wouldn't be trading any of those two out. You're living life to the fullest, Mikey, bro, with Gawn and English. You've got R1 and R2 for the year. If you're gonna have to get rid of one, I'd get rid of Naismith, bro. And because you don't even know when he's gonna play next. Whereas with Sweet, he's guaranteed the next month. And he's gonna make you money every week. And I don't think it's worth blowing up your ruck line just so that you can get Sweet in. If it was someone like a Grundy or a Marshall who appear to not be top 2 or top 3, then they can go. But Gawn and English, mate, hold on to those boys. Hold on to them. They're your ticket to victory, Mikey.
Yeah, and there's something to be said about not playing around with the ruck line. Like, I think we're always going to have rookies coming in and out through the other positions who can cover. But you don't want to be that guy. I'm going to say this, but you don't want to be the guy that's got the rookie on field that scores like a 90 and everyone else is getting 140s. But this is a bit different, Joe. Meek's already gone off. He hasn't been the cash generator that a lot of people have wanted. Like, he's made 100K. But Jordan Sweet, man, 130 last week has me tempted, man. Like, you can downgrade at Grundy, make 400K, and almost, like, I can finish my midfield from that money. Like, it's very, very tempting at this point. Like, I get Sarong this week, whereas I wouldn't be able to get Sarong this week if I didn't do the trades,
Yeah. Well, that's why I've traded out Marshall to run him at R2 technically. And now I'm only one
that we had last year. That's the real question. Because, like, seriously, I'm not convinced that Soldo comes back straight into the spot. If Sweet's playing this well, it's not like Sweet's like a Naismith and, they're begging for people to come in and out. Like,
correct.
Could be very, very good for us.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Harry, how's it going? Thanks for coming on, Harry. Kevin, hello. Shorty, hello.
What's up, Sean?
Get gone off that screen. Points for driving to the. I hear you. I hear you. It is. It hurts my heart, bro.
He just does everything, boys. That's all it is. Max Gawn. If you don't own him, you're in trouble. And Max Gawn just does everything.
Everybody's in. Everybody's in. Good week for me. 23.89. Very, very
Nice.
impressive. Very impressive. I couldn't crack 2,300, unfortunately. No Max Gawn. No Max Gawn does a lot for you. 22.79. I was close to cracking 2,300, which I thought is not too bad considering that I don't own him. If I owned Max Gawn, just give me the money right now. But unfortunately, I don't. So, yeah, giving you guys a leg up here. How did you go?
Whatever works for you, Joe. Whatever works for you. This week I scored 23.83. So I was projected. This is a thing, right? I was projected like 200 points more than what I was after the first 3 games. I lost 200 points, and Jack Steele. Where's the get in the bin, Jack Steele? I really do not want to throw Jack Steele in the bin, but it's making me feel like I want to throw Jack Steele in the bin. Something's wrong with him. I'm glad he's got North and then Hawthorn for the next 2, because if this guy cannot score 100 plus, I'm really, really worried. Team review coming out after this.
Yeah.
Joe's just put his out now as well. So if you guys, you've got some watching to do after this.
Yes, Jonas, Monday popping off like a Gawn VC. 100%, brother. 94 people in the chat. Let's go.
I think it's one of the few times as well that a Thursday has actually worked out for a good captain's or vice captain score.
Correct.
Like it doesn't happen that often. It's always last week, Jack Steele kind of died, and then a few other players didn't do so well. This week, or round 7, it actually worked out quite well for us.
Yep, for sure. Dan, the Frio Tragic. Well done on the win last week. Great dub over the doggies. I robbed the bank so that he can get Gawn in this week. How we doing? Bro, I'm still contemplating whether or not I get Max Gawn in if I just cave. If I just cave, succumb to the pain and get Gawn in, or if I just keep plugging away at this midfield and get Tuke Miller in. Obviously, I'll have a lot less money if I get Gawn in, but what happens if he goes down to injury this week? You know what I mean? Like, what happens if I trade in Max Gawn and he collapses?
If anyone goes down to Tuke Miller, don't say Tuke Miller's going to get injured because I've got him in my team. But yeah, I mean, that's the same with any player, right? It's a tricky one. I think we're both in a position that we just need to keep chugging along and just do more upgrades in our teams. I think that's the feeling that I've got, and that's probably what you're in a similar situation, Joe. It's just like, cool, we'll keep putting some upgrades into our team, finish off this midfield as quick as we can, and go from there, really. Ruck line, if we got Jordan Sweet, well, he gets to 350K, 400K. Yeah.
Yes, I was just kidding, Vela. We're not going to get naked. Let's be real. Nebo, surprised I showed up to the... Bro, you know me by now. I've got 7 weeks of not owning Gawn. You think I'm going to drop out now, round 7? Like, come on, man.
I traded in Max Gawn. I love him.
Mate, rain, hail, or how does it go?
Shine?
Wind? Was it rain, hail, or shine? Whatever.
Yeah.
Always fronting up, baby. Always fronting up. Best show on YouTube. Yes, thank you, Adamo. Much love, brother. Much love. Trade Marshall, he's cooked. I've done that. As you can see, I hate Marshall so much, I'm rocking with Livingston over him. That's how much I hate Marshall now. Bryce dropped rank for the first time this week, lads. I need help. Let's do it.
And hopefully Victor's watching. Unfortunately, Victor has dropped down to rank 3 instead of being rank 1. Hopefully, I don't think it's a centre bounce curse. So anyone else who wants to come on the show that's currently top ranked, feel free. But yeah, it kind of sucks when that happens.
It's a Joe curse. Aussie Goat finally made it to a live stream. Nice. Welcome aboard, you goat of an Aussie. Don't go with your gut, Joe. It's full of shit. Gawn has scored 72, 162, 113, 177, 129, 138, 162. Rowan Marshmallow, another 63. Big boy points. I know. Hence why Hence why my freaking thumbnail in my round review was I regret everything. Having Marshall and Gawn side by side. That week was a wrong decision. I can't go back in time. All we can do is reflect and learn from it. That's all we can do, mate.
Yeah. And it's just about finishing off your team at this point, really. The quickest you can get into doing that, the best you can do. So, yeah, not too bad there.
Oh, did we say hi to Globes? Globes!
No, we didn't, but...
$2.99. G'day, you Peter. You legend. Love your Globes. Thanks for coming on, brother. And DB.
DB! Thanks
it's the
very
real
much,
DB.
Mate. Safe to say DB season's never over. This is the thing, though, you have to realize, right? Every week, my SuperCoach ranking's been going up. It's great. But I understand I'm not going to win top one. Like, I'm not going to be number one ranked. DB, play for the best you can play. As long as you've got trades, you can fix your team, you can make changes. Say, hey, look, I just want to win a hat. That's very, very doable at this point in the season. Top 1K is still achievable for basically anyone. Like, as long as you've got Primos in your team and trades left in the bank, you can finish off your season, get yourself a hat, be proud of yourself. So, yeah, don't give up yet, DB. It's okay.
Bro, your DB, your team is fine. Your team is fine, bro. Honestly, you make some smart decisions. Don't worry about it, bro. We got you all the way. We'll talk on Discord at any point whenever you want, bro. Thank you so much again for the dono. West Coast Eagles rule. Why for you to whine? I've got Jackson R2. Bro, Jackson is top 6 forward. You can trade someone out of the forward line and bring Jackson there. Rowan Marshall is not top 6 anywhere. He's top 6 in the bin. That's where Rowan Marshall is. Top 6 bin status.
Yep.
Yeah. Joe trades Marshall, and then Rowan goes bang for a 150 plus.
Next week's going to be very interesting, boys. It's going to be an interesting video next week.
Bro, if Marshall goes 150 plus this week, now that I trade him out, I will drive to Moorabbin and stick up a sticky note saying, stuff you, Rowan Marshall. And I'll take a photo of it as well, just to show you that I've done it. Sweet Jordan's the high man. 136 points versus Rowan Marshall 63, big boy. Gawn R1, Sweet Jordan sitting nicely at R2. Meek who? Bro, Meek is shit. Meek was gifted.
Meek just happened at the wrong time, to be honest. Like, if a Meek happened 2 weeks ago, I think a lot of people would have jumped on. But we had a lot of us downgrading a Massimo. Maybe that wasn't the best option to do, but I still did it myself. And, dodged the 94, got in 100, but... yeah, Meek's only made 100K, and most people have now spent 2 trades on Meek. So he hasn't really made you any money in the long run. Just scoring on field. That's all it is.
Yep, exactly. Whitfield going to score on average more than Stewart this year? That's a good question, Ridiculous.
Well, I mean, it depends. If Stewart doesn't come back from concussion this week, it's going to be an interesting one. He's already got 1 game on him. He had the early buy, so that's finished as well. Whitfield just looks good, man. He's just gulling. And I don't know what it is with Stewart, Joe, but those monster ceiling games that we've had in the last couple of years just haven't been there this year. Maybe it's a positional change thing. Maybe someone like a Max Holmes is getting the run carry through the back line. Bit of a rough one.
I think he's on track for a big score. I think before he got concussed, I mean, he had 46% TOG for a 62.
Yeah, but that's scaling as well. I think he got a bunch. I think he was only on like 30 or 40 and then got scaled up.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
3 kick-ins, 10 kicks, no handballs, 3 marks. Like, he's doing the things. I think what Tom Stewart has going for him over a Whitfield is that Whitfield's game is so uncontested in nature that he will rack up the pill and he will do things with it, but he's not getting bulk points for each of those disposals. So unlike someone like a Matt Rowell, for example, who isn't getting a lot of the pill, he's only getting 20 disposals, but every one of those are all contested in nature. A contested gather, a contested kick, contested handball, tackling. You're not getting that out of Lockie Whitfield. All of Lockie Whitfield is purely outside. And so he really needs to be super accurate when it comes to his ball use. And if he clangers it up, it hurts him up. It really hurts him because he's not getting any bonuses.
I don't know. I'm going to disagree with that a little bit. I think Whitfield, yes, maybe he doesn't get as many intercepts, but he gets it behind. Look at that. No, maybe he doesn't get as many intercepts, but he just gets used so much through that back line. It's like a bit like Adam Sard, right? Where the guys just basically looked at and said, hey, look, run through the back line for us, run through the middle, get those cheapy kicks, those cheapy possessions, Joe. I think there was a point in time in the game this weekend where Lockie Whitfield got like 6 touches in 30 seconds. It was just like pass, that's it, done. And they'll use him for the switch kick as well. Like if we look at his stats, 3 against. Imagine if it was like Grundy's score, right? Grundy gave away so many free kicks. Lockie Whitfield could have scored close to a 150 this week. How bonkers is that? It's just the scoring. So you have a look at his scoring, 125 and then an 85. And then a 109 and an 87. Like we brought him in, round 4? So it's not fantastic, but I think he's still top 6 in the back line. Probably a D6.
Stewart is more reliable. Stewart's going to per mark, plus the kick that comes from it. And he's a beautiful ball user. Like, Whitfield can get 29 disposals and still score 85. You know what I mean? Like, he's not guaranteed. Yeah, he'll find the pill, but it's not necessarily going to translate into an uber premium score. Whereas someone like a Tom Stewart, he doesn't have to do as much because just one intercept mark plus a kick is already over 10 points. That's already like 11 points just from that one thing. And he does it so often. So
I think that's the big thing.
Stewart will be better.
I think Lockie Whitfield seems to get tagged into oblivion a little bit. Whereas, Joe, as you say, Stewart does kind of go out of nowhere. And Stewart will have a patch where he gets 30 points in like a minute. Yeah. It'll just be like Stewart, contested mark, intercept, cool, that's it. Kick, run through the back line, get another one, that's it. Lockie Whitfield, I don't think is that high.
Like, you just look at that consistency over how many years? 105.9. So that's basically 106. Yeah. 107, 108, 109, 110. I'm so scared of
Whitfield getting injured too.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time, Whitfield copped a knock, he's on the bench. Hard in your sleeve kind of deal.
Yep, exactly. Benji, am I chasing points if I go for Sweet, Raul, and Merritt this week? Going Stewart next week or maybe the week after?
Look, it depends on who you trade, right? But I think that's bloody fantastic. Like, you're not really chasing points. You're chasing cash gen. And being able to get 2 more midfield primos works really, really well. Like, there's nothing wrong with getting 2 midfield primos. It's what you should have. I remember when I had Matt Rowell. That was fun. But yeah, it's 2 midfield primos. So you can do a lot worse. And I think at this point in time, like, we just need to start finishing your team and getting the cash. You know, let's pretend you downgraded a Marshall and you got Rowell and Merritt in this week. You'd be laughing. Like, you're doing very, very well.
Yeah. So Zach Merritt's break even is 130 this week. Like, so he could drop a bit, unless you see Zach Merritt going 130. If he goes, he's projected 120.
Yeah,
then he'll
drop much.
You know what I mean? He won't drop by much. So yeah, I don't mind getting Merritt at 640k. I paid up 666k for him, and I don't regret it, to be honest. No. Matt Rowell, he's 654 with a break even of 112, and the reason why you're getting him in is he's been scoring like no one's business. I mean, he's averaging for the year 131. And you look at what's to come. He's got a night game, slippery, dewy conditions against Brisbane. And we saw what Tom Green did, 159. He's then got North in Darwin and Geelong in Darwin, where the conditions, essentially you're playing on an ice rink and the ball is a bar of soap. So these conditions
are being very, very descriptive there, Joe.
I love analogies. I like, letting people understand that no one's going to be able to handle the ball. We're going to have repeat stoppages, a lot of tackling. No one's going to handle the ball and run the ball out with cleanliness. So I can see they're both guns. Get him in, Benji. Get him in. But who cares? I can't go another week without Routes killing me. Yeah, exactly. There you go. See, Dan agrees. Sarong, great runner. Yes, correct. Sarong, if you haven't got him, he's a little bit cheaper than those guys. Sarong is still basically at that starting price point that he had at the start of the year. Sarong, he's only lost $600. He's still there.
Which is partly why I'm just like, cool, get him into your team. Like at this point, you have to do it. If I had gone Dawson instead of Walsh, I think potentially I could have afforded him without downgrading Gawn. But Sarong is just too good. Like your midfield's very, very strong, Joe. Not having Jack Steele, especially with his injury concerns at the moment, just makes it look so much better.
It looked bad a couple of weeks ago, didn't it? Not having Jack Steele. It looked really bad. And then, a bit of fortune goes your way and all of a sudden Bob's your uncle. Patrick, hey fellas, love the show. Love your viewership. Do I dare go Grundy?
Like get Grundy in? Probably
not. Don't get him in. Trade him out.
I assume that's what you're thinking. But...
Do I dare think of going Grundy to Sweet? Yes, you can do that, I think.
Yeah. It's tricky. It really is tricky.
How much money you free up, bro?
Like 400 plus.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. It basically gives you like two weeks worth of upgrades. Just under 400. So yeah, you can go like Grundy to Sweet and then like a Dempsey straight to a Sarong.
Yeah.
It works.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Works out all right for us. So.
You're going to get comparable scoring, if not better, from Sweet compared to Grundy.
Yeah, he's just not done it before. That's the big thing. Jordan Sweet.
He's got a good midfield to hit down to. He's got Horn Francis. Wait, there's no Rozee. I was going to say Rozee and Butters. Oh, wait, no, there's no Rozee.
I think someone had a question about trading out Rozee in the chat. It really depends on what happens. If Connor Rose is out for multiple weeks, potentially, get rid of him if you've got a boost. But, don't trade him out. We've got this many good rookies, like Will Graham can cover Rozee for a week. I know it's not going to happen every week, but the guy just scored almost premium numbers. So, can do a lot worse.
I think Rozee's a low grade. I think it's just 1 to 2 weeks for Rozee. I don't know if you believe in the 1 week hammy, but we've seen it happen before. Most likely 2 weeks. So if they're winning, I don't think they're going to risk him. Obviously, he's their captain. They're not going to bring him back if he's not ready to play. So it might be 2 to 3 for Rozee, which hopefully means more scoring for Butters because he has to carry a heavier load. So fingers crossed for all us Butters owners.
I reckon he'd almost go backwards. Butters.
He goes backwards, you reckon?
But Butters seems to struggle when he's got to play defensive. So if he's not got to think about attack, it's not the best. I remember when Horn Francis was out, felt like Butters kind of fell off scoring-wise a little bit. Had those kind of kick down games where he did just score 100. I mean, he only scored 82 this week, so maybe there's something in that as well. But yeah, I wouldn't say Rozee out, but it's not a Petrarca and an Oliver type situation.
The thing is, they got Will Drew. Willem Drew is that defensive-minded midfielder. So, and Ollie Wines could potentially be a tackler. They need Butters for offense. Like Butters is a machine gun. He's not, you know what I mean? Like he's meant to be all out, full blown offensive. So I think Butters, I can't see Butters playing defensive. I think it's going to fall on Drew and Wines, maybe even Boak, to play some defensive roles so that Butters can continue to be offensive. Evening, rookie coach. How's it going? Thoughts on going on Powell, trading or holding? what are you, resident Bigger North Melbourne supporter? Give us some insight onto Powell, please.
Well, this week he got shafted forward for a majority of the game. Maybe you pull up his DFS stats, but yeah, Tom Powell just kind of got shafted forward, and it doesn't look good. We've spoken, Joe, about Tom Powell potentially being like just a cash cow and a bit of scoring on field, and he's done that for us in the forward line at this point. But yeah, maybe he just didn't get the stats that we wanted. Relegated to the forward line a little bit more, half forward. I don't think he check his CBAs, but I'm pretty sure his CBAs fell off quite hard as well. I don't know what Clarko's doing. Like 14% CBAs. It went from 80 to 14. Yeah. So
you don't know what Clarko's doing. I don't think he knows what he's doing either at this point. He's trying to
He's just trying to move people around and see what sticks, really. But hopefully this means Tom Powell comes back. I've got worse problems on field. But if I had the cash I've got in the bank plus Tom Powell, I know what I'd be doing.
Yeah. If I'm willing to give Tom Powell another chance, because I think Powell,
I've got worse problems.
Yeah. Powell in the last quarter went back into the center bounces. So yeah, he got 14%, but basically all that 14% was in the last quarter.
In the last quarter.
Exactly. So I'm thinking that they tried 3 quarters with him as a forward. They've realized, damn, our midfield is shit. Brought him back into the midfield for the last quarter. Hopefully that continues. If he still has bad CBAs this week, then yes, he is out, and I don't give a crap. Because I don't want 49s. I might as well have rookies in my forward line at that price. If I'm going to have 49s, how much money has he made for us so far?
I think at this point it's pretty close to 100K. It was a lot better last week. But
102.6. Yeah. So I'm willing to give him one more week.
Be okay. But break even of 115, Joe, he's got to have a big week.
He's got the Saints this week with a banged up Jack Steele. If this has to be the week that he gives us a strong bounce back, because who else is in that St. Kilda midfield now? If Jack Steele is banged up, who's carrying the load for St. Kilda?
Well, that's why they lost, right? Saints fans can let us know in the chat, but that's why 100% why they lost. Was just that no one was there to carry them.
So really? Jack Steele
couldn't do much.
Winhager, Hugo Garcia, Seb Ross, and Jack Sinclair. So, come on. This is not a deep midfield. It's not a great midfield, to be honest. Sorry, St. Kilda fans. You're obviously missing another star to help carry the load. But if Jack Steele is injured, Rowan Marshall is cactus as well, maybe this is the week where we can see a better performance from the North Melbourne midfield, because it looks like St. Kilda's limping at this point in time.
Yeah, you'd really hope so. Just waiting to find out myself what's going to happen. But, we couldn't beat Hawthorn, who are obviously bottom of the ladder, outside of us and West Coast now. But, what are we going to have to verse someone? I don't even know if we'd beat other teams' VFL sides at the moment, Joe. That's how bad I feel.
You'll be okay. Velo, I'm thinking Powell and Dempsey out for Sarong and Sweet, or saving cash until next week.
This is exactly what I wanted to do. I was like 20K off doing. Now I might forego Sarong and end up going like a Dawson instead, but it's a tough one, man. Do it. Do the trade. Do the trade. That's what I would say. Do it.
That's a sick trade. Tom Green at M8. That's a wonderful midfield, Velo. Do it, son. Do it. You got this. We haven't seen Dale with Richards back. He was playing mid with Libba out. Dale back to 90 with Richards. And that's what we saw last year, Dan. Absolutely. It was a really... They were almost symbiotic, Dale and Richards, with their use of halfback. Now you also add in Bramble to the mix as well. And because it looks like Bevo likes Lockie Bramble a lot as well. So it's going to be interesting. I wouldn't go Dale. it's just he's probably you would only go for him if you're desperate to upgrade your team, but you want the absolute bottom price player.
Yeah,
I hope so. Aussie, oi,
oh,
oi. Qatar is the source of life. maybe. Jamon, how's it going, man? Early thoughts on Powell? Yeah, we just spoke about that. Would you consider getting McKercher back? That's a different one.
no,
McKercher at 250k. Would you get him in?
no.
No. Why?
Because the guy's 250k. You're spending a trade on him. You need him to get to 400 for you to make any money in the situation. Like, upgrade your team. This is the same problem we had with Comben, right? That Comben's there. Why would you pay up for Comben? Why would you go and pay up for McKercher? Just finish your team. Like, don't bring in 250k players. Doesn't make sense. So have one good game out of like 4. Like, don't do it.
And in that game, he had 12 kick-ins.
Yep.
12
kick-ins.
Just how many people in their lives get 12 kick-ins? Some people don't get 12 kick-ins for an entire season. He had 12 kick-ins in a game. And what did he score? I'm not going there. I'm sorry.
Just 100 and I don't think it was 110.
Under 110 for 12 kick-ins. I'm good, thanks. I'm good.
No.
Anyone wants to take him with his 12 kick-ins for 100?
Like, some people still have him in their team, and congratulations if you still have him in your team. But there's no way you bring the guy in. Like, come on.
No. There's no way. I'm not doing it at 250k. If you're doing it for the money, the cash gen, you can get it from any rookie on the bubble this week, from a Garcia or a Rogers or a Sweet. Get those boys in. If you're doing it for points on field, I don't want to break the news for you. He's not getting 12 kick-ins every week. Zach Fisher was the sub, and Sheasel was moved a bit up the ground as well. So he almost had a monopoly in that back line and still only scored 102. So I wouldn't even trust him for big scoring either. So, yeah, I wouldn't go him. If you still own him, as Big J says, congratulations, but don't trade him back in.
Yeah,
don't do it. How good is it to see? Yeah, 100% Cheese. He looks unreal. He's playing like he's a Super Saiyan or something. He's just got the strut about him as well. He knows he's good. And we do too now. Should I go Dempsey and Cadman to Fife and Sweet? Need a forward, and Fife has a good buy.
Oh, look, there's a world where Fife becomes a top 6 primo, and I've been messing around with it a little bit. So, yeah, maybe. If your midfield's done, why not? But Fife's been looking good the last couple of weeks.
I anticipate we're going to see Fife managed next week, because between this week and next week, there's a 5-day turnaround.
Yeah.
So he will probably have lower than usual. He might have the 56% time on ground sort of thing again and score a 69 odd. So he'll probably score you really well again this week because it's an 8-day break. But then the following week, he'll give you a 69, which is very nice, obviously, dinner for 2. But it's probably a little bit, yeah. He could get injured at any point as well. They're doing really good to manage him during the course of the season, and he's looking unreal. He is. He kicked that big time goal in the last quarter, and I'm just like, of course he did. Of course he did. I don't own him, so of course he's gonna pop off.
Of course. Yeah, it's just a tricky one. I feel the same way about Lloyd Meek, and Lloyd Meek just doing really well, and it's just like, mate, days like that just kind of hurt. But yeah, I think some people are talking about Rory Laird potentially getting DPP middle of the season, which would open things up quite a lot. But our forward mine might just be completed. Not completed, depleted is the right word. Like Keeney, Flanders, and then it's basically a free-for-all, Joe. Like Zorko's in there as well. Shai Bolton's in there as well, but they've had crappy kind of scores. Yeah, I don't know.
We probably would be getting some DPP for Rory Led. I mean, he's only getting, well, you look at his CBAs, 57, 44, 48, occasional 73. But yeah, his CBAs have been quite low. I really would not be surprised if we get a DPP for him. Oh, no. Yaron.
What's up, Yaron? Thank you very
dude.
much, mate.
This man is among the most generous on YouTube. If it's to us, even to DR, I saw him drop some money over at DR. Yaron, you are a wonderful individual, honestly, man. Much love to you. Really tempted to go English to sweet, so it makes it easier. Carrying Rozee for 2 to 3 weeks, if that's how long he's out for. Have Jackson up forward too would mean Billings to a Sarong. You still own Billings. Wow, Yaron.
My problem with English is like, he's not Grundy, right? English can still pop out massive numbers. And English is popping out massive numbers. So why are you trading out the guy that's popping out massive numbers? That's kind of my question. I personally wouldn't do it. Like, you can do other things. You can trade with someone else. I'm not sure who. Maybe you've got Gawn English. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's fine to run Sweet on the bench. There's no issues. Just treat him as 400k on the bench in like 3 weeks. Like, it's what it is. Come the buy rounds, you've got a cheeky 400k. You can just straight to it, Primo. You don't have to do it. You've got number one. You've potentially got R2. Like, feels like a bit of a waste. English just came out and scored a 134. Like, he's not dropped a 50, 50, 50. And he doesn't look injured like a Rowan Marshall does at the moment.
Yeah. And it was against the double combination.
Field.
Yeah. And it was against the combination of Darcy and Jackson. So it's not like English had an easy game. He had a tough competition. He scored 130. I mean, what you could do is you could trade out Billings, and I wouldn't be surprised if you have Livingston at R3. Trade out Billings and send Livingston to your forward line and get Sweet at R3.
Done. So he's saying here it means Graham, Closey, and we all play. So the first two are fine.
Yes.
The third one is a bit sus. That's the only problem.
He's been a pretty decent starting selection.
No.
Jacob Weir.
Not really.
Averaging, that's decent scoring. Some 48s, 70, 69, 60.
40 is great, score of a 40.
No, he started slow, but he's built into the season with 2 70s essentially and a 60. So it's not too bad.
It's round 7 and the guys scored less than Darcy Wilson in terms of price rise. Like, it's a no for me.
Darcy Wilson's a freak, and we were singing Darcy Wilson's praises all preseason long.
That's true. That's true.
They're two different players, mate.
They both take up a midfield spot. I don't know what you want.
Fair, unless you got Wilson in your forward line.
Weir doesn't have DPP.
True. How's it going? Sim just arrived. Did we enjoy Best 22 this week? Yeah, we did for the most part. Absolutely.
Yeah. Just not Jack Steele. Jack Steele's a real pain. Everybody else is okay. Like, Jack Steele, Butters, but Jack Steele just let the team down. Big J could have scored 2,500 this week. Yeah. And just didn't look good.
We're having a lotto ticket on this game this Saturday. A lotto ticket. We can have a small one. I'm not a betting man, West Coast Eagles roll. How big of a ticket? Is there a $10 ticket or something? We can do that. I don't mind it. I don't mind. Evening, fellas. Hope you're ready for the Dons to get smashed by the Eagles this week, Joe. Look at that. We've got 2 Eagles back-to-back coming up.
Bring
me back to earth. I love it. We'll see. Harry, Marshall to Sweet and Dempsey to Sarong. Or Powell to Sweet and Roberts to... No. Don't trade out Roberts, bro. Don't trade out Roberts.
Roberts is getting there. Roberts is definitely getting there. The score of 80, I think, was fantastic, but you've probably got 2 weeks left. Like, this week is going to be a real test to see where he's at. I think, 2 weeks to go, Joe. A lot of us are finishing off our back line. Roberts is fantastic. The only thing with Roberts is what round does he have the bye? So he's got round 12 bye. So if you can hold Rob, you could potentially hold him till round 15, and you'd be very, very happy. That DPP, I think, is really going to come in clutch.
Break even of 37.
Yep. But he's probably got 2 weeks worth of cash gen. Two weeks worth of cash gen left, really. And then it's just cool. Whatever you're scoring is whatever you're scoring from that point onwards.
If he scores 94, then his break even becomes 75. He has beaten 75 every week except for one.
Yeah. But I don't know if he scores 94 this week.
He might not go 94, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets you to close to 450k, which means that he's still got another 40,000 to go. I'm not gonna scoff at 40k. I think 40k is very good. Plus the scoring that he's given me on field is also very impressive.
Yes.
Have a lot bigger problems than Matt Roberts on the field. He's scoring the same as Butters. He's beating Rowan Marshall for me on a regular basis now. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I'm happy to hold Roberts. If you guys are capable of holding Roberts as an M9 FD7, would be unreal. Like that's what I did with
I think you can wait
Paddy
a little
McCarter.
bit for him too. You can get this year is the year, and it really comes down to us Grundy swappers if we end up trading out Grundy or not. But this year is really going to be the year that if you've been okay, I'm not even saying you've been careful. If you've been okay with your trades, Joe and I not so much, but if you've been okay with the trades, you're going to get decent enough M9s, D6s, D7, swap type players. Nick Martin's there. There's so many of these guys that you can just run. And it's like, cool, well, I've got really good bench cover this year. So, yeah, like primo level bench cover, not even just like, oh, do I loop Rowan Marshall or which one do I go, So, yeah.
I like option one, Harry. Do option one, I reckon, in my opinion. Sim, fight for trap or building. It's hard to be a trap at this point, Sim, after 7 weeks.
I think he's building. I think he's building. Not a midfield primo, but definitely a forward primo. And Joe reckons that Fife's going to take a week off over the next couple of weeks. I just think Freo are just building to him. Like, he's not playing 100% game time. He looks good. He's not being asked to do something that he can't do. Like, the guy's just been trudging along, scoring well, offers them something in that midfield that they haven't had for a while. And then when he goes forward, he scores goals. Like, he hasn't cracked 80% time on ground, at least for this week. Do you want to pull up his stats, Joe, and see what his time on ground's been like the last couple of weeks? Because he's spending a while on the bench.
Well, he has to. He's a very old man.
43.
He's a very old man.
Yeah.
He's my
But
dad.
if you just check out his actual time on ground, look at that. Scroll. Time on ground. Yeah, so he's basically being managed. He's like a rookie that's just kind of started this year. The guy's not being pushed to play 85, 90% time on ground. So, yeah, he's doing quite well.
Yeah, but this was a short turnaround between the Brisbane and North games, and he
Yeah.
was subbed out. So, in games where there are short turnarounds, I wouldn't be surprised.
Also 3 games into the season.
No, he didn't play round 0. He only played round 1 and round 2.
That's what I'm saying. So, in round 2 he got subbed off.
Yes, because it was a short turnaround.
He's not built his fitness at that point, right?
Potentially, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's they want to get the best out of him, and they'll manage him, and they might sub him out in the third quarter next week. He'll still give you good scoring. That's still the way he's going. Everything is contested, and he's just getting bulk. He's getting full value for every disposal that he's getting. So he's been a wonderful starting selection. For those of you who started him, congratulations.
Him and Elliot Yeo have been bloody fantastic.
Yeah. So you're
getting all the Bombers love today. I don't know what it is. Bloody Mark. Thanks very much, Mark. Go Bombers. So keep cheering.
The dogs.
Mate,
I've got my little S in the gnome. I've got my little S in the gnome. He's always next to me, always keeping me company. His name is Don, of course. So much love, Mark. Thank you so much.
Do we keep Cherry Joe?
Or trade him. Trade him to Sweet, bro. He's made he's done his job. He's made his money.
The same issue that I have with Cherry is the same issue. So if you're saying to Mark, trade Cherry, then I need to trade Grundy this week. Like, I can't hold Grundy.
Which is what I've said. Yes.
Yeah. Grundy's got to go then. That's the attitude we've got. Yep.
Yes. I that's what I've been saying for sure. Definitely being consistent. These are the guys that you've got. You didn't anticipate them to be top of the line, but you are hoping that they would be. And if not, then they made you money.
Too. Cherry's been scoring really well.
Yeah.
He has been. He just does so much. Like, the guy doesn't mark. That's Cherry's biggest problem. If Cherry learned how to mark Joe, oh my gosh, here comes Max Gawn. Like, that's Cherry at this point. But yeah, that's our only issue.
He's made you the money that you want. So this is a lot of bank that you can then access that equity and use it to bolster up the rest of your team, which is amazing. So you picked Cherry.
Yeah, so wrong this week, Joe.
Yeah, why not? He's got Richmond this week.
What's his run like? What are you expecting from Sarong over the next couple of weeks?
Sarong's a top 8 mid for sure.
Yeah,
he's got Richmond this week. So Richmond against Richmond, he could go 130 again against Richmond. So and then he's got the Swans at home. Good place to play him if you're going to play him anywhere. He's got the Wounded Saints. He's got Collingwood. You saw how our mids did against him. He's got Melbourne in Darwin. Slippery, slidey conditions. Great for a tough nut in Sarong. So, yeah, I love Sarong. Sarong's a top 8 mid. He was close to it last year. He had great consistency. I spoke about him in my $0 team in the preseason where I had him in there. He had great consistency to end the season. The problem for him, why he didn't have the ceiling that other people did, is because he was managing an ankle injury. This year, he is perfectly fit and firing, and he's got Fife feeding him the ball. A contested handball straight to Sarong, who gets a long clearance kick out. So,
all right. Grundy, where is it, Joe? Grundy, Cherry, Grundy and Cherry get in the bin.
In the bin.
That's all I'm saying. They're in the bin.
Thank you for your services.
That's it. Done.
100%. You got to take that cash and run. Hoops. Hey, lads. How's it going, Hoops? Come the Dons. I'm struggling. Guys, if you guys can have a look, I'd appreciate it. My team is Noah's Strikers. Have 23 trades and 90K in the bank right now. I have Dempsey and Powell out. Green and Garcia in. Do you have anyone in the ruck worth trading out?
Can we check? Can we go to rankings and have a look? Can you search this way? I don't know if it works.
Is this possible? Or is it only teams?
No, it should work for teams. Maybe you can go rankings.
Oops.
Noah's.
Okay. Strikers.
Maybe go Noah's and we'll see if it's there. Give us a sec. We'll try and find it.
Come on.
Is it going to pop up? Just scroll
down.
Noah's
Bolters, Noah's Goats. Bro.
It's not here.
Are you sure the name of your own team, bro?
Let us know. Let us know which one's yours. A lot of these teams look like they're dead, though. That's the problem.
Noah's Young Guns, Noah's Team, Noah's Super Squad, Noah's Nuffies,
Noah's
Nipples, Noah's Men, Noah's Long, Noah's Goats, Noah's Bolters, Noah's Ark. I don't see strikers anywhere. Noah Velo, unfortunately, I think Leah is gone. Sam Taylor's the best defender in the comp. Surprisingly, it seems like Noah Ainsworth was one of the biggest missed cash cows this year.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, we've had a few of these other players kind of come through. There's always an Adelaide level player. I was keen on what's his name, Darcy Gardner as well from Brisbane, but yeah, Noah Ainsworth just kind of came out of nowhere. Not averaging super much, but 90 odd average for the last 3 weeks, and I guess kind of that kind of level of scoring has really boosted him up the last couple of weeks. So if you've got him, cool. That's probably the big thing. But defense this year has been atrocious. We probably could have used him and been very happy. How would you have known? Like,
yeah, no, I'm good, thanks. I'm good.
162k though. It's not too bad.
It's not too bad. Kai Broom. How's it going, Kai? Feel like I need to jump Marshall to Sweet and then gives me the ability to hold Powell. Correct. 100%. McDonald greater than Phillips or McDonald to Phillips is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yep. Yeah. It sucks. It sucks. Yeah. I wish I could have had Logan McDonald in my team and not had Will Phillips. Especially because we had interviewed Logan McDonald multiple times, and for some reason we don't pick key forward, and we won't pick another one this year. Be some tall midfielder who make us look good, but ultimately not what we want because key forwards just don't grow on trees that are good. So yeah, you got to be very very lucky. Noah's Velo's saying here Noah's strikers ranked 285 in our league. Let's pull it up.
All right, let's go to the league. We'll just do it manually then.
Joe, thoughts on getting Parrish this week?
We know Parrish loves to show up for Anzac Day. Legend. He looked good. Definitely the best game so far for the season. But I just can't trust that he won't re-injure himself. It's not a good... I think it's a bit too risky at this point. I don't think he's going to be top 8 mid-legend. He's got, obviously, Durham, Colders, pinch hitting in there as well, with Merritt, of course. Still got Perkins to come back. Still got Sardis that could pinch it in there. Hobbsy can pinch it in there. Dylan Shield doing all right in the VFL. Bro, there are so many names. We don't need Parrish to be Superman anymore. So, yeah, I'm not going to go there. Jeez, I've clicked on the league and nothing's popping up. Why is everyone on SuperCoach? Can everyone jump off SuperCoach for a second? We've got a live stream going. Bloody hell.
View league. No. Oh.
See? Guys, can we please just jump off it for a little bit so that we can look at this team? You're killing SuperCoach for me. I'm going to try refreshing this page.
Corey, we should have got Blakey, but we didn't. He basically, I think it was us, Gold Coast and Sydney, and his whole life was in Sydney. So it's just like, yeah. I think we're very, very lucky. A stat came out, I think DR had posted it, Joe. North Melbourne versus Brisbane, and North had more father-sons in their current team than Brisbane did. But how do you pass up like both of the Ashcroft brothers? It's bit of a difference in scoring capacity there. Do you think it's too early to trade Meek in if it means he can get Sarong and Green? Yes. Ready? I would do it. If you're going Meek to Sweet, 100% do it this week. Don't even worry, mate. Just make it happen.
Oh, it's Cheese's fault. He's trying to trade in. He's trying to trade in Luke Ryan and Rao. You've broken SuperCoach for me, Cheese. I'm trying to look at this team.
Hey Jimmy, how you doing? We spoke about McKercher earlier, mate. The guy had 12 kick-ins this week, and he scored a 102. I don't think it's sustainable. Like, congratulations on getting the 102 score, but I just don't think it's sustainable. Was it Velo was talking about his... Was it Velo? Sorry. We'll find it. So, 90K in the bank, Joe. What are we doing with this team? So, Jordan Sweet, obviously... Jordan Sweet's obviously something need to be considered. Unfortunately, you've got Naismith, so you don't have a free swap. I'm not super keen on trading English. It's probably my biggest thing.
Naismith would have to be sideways, I think.
Yep. I think, unfortunately, 90K does that. And then at that point, you're probably just downgrading like a Dempsey. Do you have anyone who you can put on field? Oh, this bench, Joe. This bench gives me headaches.
Yeah.
There's not a lot
Sexton
you can
dead.
do, mate.
Pink dead. Clark dead. Manor dead.
Hopefully Sexton comes back. I think he had a 35 possession game in the VFL this week. So he's around the mark. He's just not getting named. That's the only thing. So if someone gets injured, Sexton's straight in the team. Unfortunately, Jake Roberts had a good week and it probably keeps him out for a little while. But yeah, it's really tough. I look at this team.
Dempsey can go to Rogers. You swing Garcia into the forward line, have him at F6. Graham can be fielded at M8. I like Graham as a fieldable selection. And then you can have Rogers there to, I suppose, improve your bench in the midfield. But if you
with
add
this
a
type
boost,
of team, yeah. With this type of team, you have to just maximize the cash gen. Like, I know Naismith is probably going to go up in cash this week, but there's a reason why everyone picked Livingston. And it wasn't because Naismith was going to play or not play. It was the fact that we get a free DPP swing. And obviously that doesn't work for you this week. So Naismith swap to Sweet, bank some money. You know the guy's going to be okay. Your scoring on field's not terrible. That's the thing. That's probably what's hoping you out for the next couple of weeks is your scoring on field's not bad. So once Stewart comes in, hopefully from being injured, you've got one rookie on the bench there. Sorry, one rookie in the back line, two or three or four in the midfield.
Yeah.
Sweet will give you enough money for you to upgrade to a Primo in one of your players. I think he's the one instead of Naismith, unfortunately, mate. So Rogers out for Dempsey is Joe's pick, and then Naismith up to Jordan Sweet. And then you're still banking money. You still have, what is that? Rogers to Dempsey, 150K plus 90. Yeah, you probably have 150K next week. 150K?
Yeah.
Yeah,
150K for next week is pretty good.
More. You'll have more. Because Dempsey to Rogers is about 150. And then he's got 90K in the bank. So probably close to 200K, mate. Make it happen. Then you can go and upgrade to someone else in your team next week and not feel so bad about it. So, yeah, just keep on trudging on, yeah? Season's not finished. You've got trades. Keep enjoying SuperCoach. You're obviously in a worse position than some people, but that's okay.
But at the same time, you've got Max Gawn and I don't. So you're better than me in that respect.
And you've got a good ruck. I mean, I've just downgraded my R2 to Jordan Sweet. So yeah, it's gonna bite me in the ass, but that's all right.
So yeah, this is your ticket to salvation here, Noah. Doing this, Gawn English, R1, R2, you ride it to victory. Yeah. I have Jackson R2, should trade Sweet R2 and switch Jackson forward, or go to English while he's low price.
I think English is going to be around the mark for a little while, but you can go to English instead. The thing with Sweet, right? He's better than a rookie you've got on field. So if you downgrade it, if you go like a Dempsey to Sweet and then swing Jackson into the forward line, you're still positive on points. That's probably the big thing. You're not missing out.
You can't miss this cash price, right? You can't miss this Uber cash cow. English will be around the mark, as Big J says, but Sweet, he's only got these 4 to 5 weeks, and in those weeks, you got to capitalize because though he's going to make a crap ton of money. If he's dropped at that point, then so be it. But at least in the meantime, he's going to make you massive amounts of cash. Causa, how's it going, brother? Problem is Sweet would have scored 100 with Soldo as a second ruck.
Yeah, and he did quite well in the week that he only scored 65 as well. I think that's what you're referencing.
Correct.
So it's still something.
Bro, Harry, 24.
Nice work, Harry. Beat both of us this week.
On fire, mate.
No Jack Steele spinning it up.
Am I looking at a nuclear power plant here? Is it worth keeping Meek Meek/Sweet at R2, R3 for another week or two. Meek is still to make a bit more dollars with Chol out at least, considering I need to trade out Sharp, Powell, Billings, and Massimo already. You don't have to trade out Mass. If he's back this week, he still has that low break even, so he can still make you a bit more money this week. Billings and Sharp can both go, but I think you need Sweet.
Sweet make R2, R3.
Yeah, I think Sweet scoring at R3 is pretty good. What's Meek's price point now? What's Meek got to?
For me, it really depends on what the rest of your team looks like and what the money from a Meek down to Sweet will do for you. Because right now, that's like 300K. And that can be another primo upgrade. Probably not in the forward line. Like, I wouldn't put the money into the forward line. But it goes Sharp up to Sarong for you. Or Sharp up to a Matt Rao. Or something like that. Meek was always going to be a cash cow. And right now, maybe that's just what he is. So you can keep him. You could keep Lloyd Meek for the whole season. The guy's scoring 100. Like, he's a serviceable R2. Probably not the one that you want to have, but he's serviceable at that price. So you could keep him, but personally, I would probably, if you're not going to spend a boost, I would probably go Sweet. Sorry, Meek out, Sweet in, and then look to upgrade somewhere else in your team. Would probably be my pick.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, Mark.
What's up, Mark? Thank you very much.
Right, another one. You don't have to, mate. Captain Martin and VC Gawn captaining Nick Martin against the Eagles this week. That's ballsy. That is. You can always VC Gawn. No doubt about it.
I don't know if I'm going Nick Martin,
but I would not. I would not be. Yeah, I don't have the cojones. I love Nick Martin more than the next Joe, but yeah, I wouldn't be captaining him. If you're gonna pick anyone, if you have a Bombers player, it's probably Zach Merritt. Would be very good, I think. Don't have anyone that can run with him on the outside. Plus, Nick Martin looked really good playing that half forward role in that last quarter. We needed him. And he came up big with that wonderful break out of one tackle, spun away from two other tacklers, and snapped it on the left. That was insane, that goal. So he did too well as a forward for me to trust it, going with Captain Martin. If you have anyone else, like if you've got Sarong against the Tigers, could be good. If you've got Merritt against the Eagles, could go good. If you've got Rao against the Lions, we saw what Tom Green did to them last week. He could do really good. As West Coast Eagles rule is suggesting, you could even go Captain Harley this week against the Bombers. He's all rested up.
Why not?
He's all rested up. He could go crazy. So, yeah, it's a possibility. I think there are a bunch of different options for you, Mark. More reliable and consistent than Captain Nick Martin. That would be very ballsy. And Travis also. Trav, thank you very much. Is it Wogo Wolves had VC into... Are you trying to say Walsh VC Gawn C?
You can do it. You can do it and not feel so bad about it.
I think he's trying to say Walsh VC. Is it okay, maybe, to go Walsh at VC into Gawn? I think that's what he's trying to say. Who's Walsh got this week? Collingwood. Yeah, nice. Yeah. I reckon he'll do well. And then Gawn against the Cats. Bro, Gawn is the hottest hand in the competition. How can you not
go and they're not going to have a good ruckman? It's probably the big problem. You could go Gawn into like a Sarong, as Joe says. I don't know. Could Collingwood tag? Sam Walsh kind of got O'Connor on him, and it made me feel bad about getting Sam Walsh this week. So
no, Walsh pops off this week. Yeah. Walsh is going 130 this week.
Yeah. Is that good enough this week? That's the big problem.
Of course it is.
Yeah, but what if Gawn goes 150? And then Sarong goes like...
You don't turn down a 130.
No, I know that. I'm just saying. Like, could happen, Joe.
little bit greedy. A little bit greedy here, Big J. Look,
You
if
have to
you've
be
got
greedy.
Max Gawn,
You have to be
if
greedy.
you've got
SuperCoach.
if you got Max Gawn, then freaking just go Max Gawn all the way.
I think
You
next
always
week
just go with Max.
I think next week I go Cadman and Powell up to Zach Merritt plus a rookie.
Potentially. Holy shit! I have to scroll up very far.
Yeah,
we
jumped a few players down. Bob's saying here best forwards to pick up this week. Probably none. Let's be honest. There's probably none. There's no good forwards. Zorko was max price, scored crap. He's going to drop in price. Bolton's similar. Luke Jackson's similar. There's really none. I don't even think there's any forward rookies. Maybe Garcia is probably the forward rookie you want, but there really isn't anyone actually going to drop a lot in money. So it is like the pick me position this week.
Yeah, true. Are you really bringing in Parrish this week, Mikey? Jeez, that's a tough one. I salute you, my friend. 24.69 for Jonas. Very impressive.
Nice.
Well
nice
done.
Work, Jonas.
Very well done. Fabled. Green, Dawson, or Walsh should it come in this week, please?
Green, Dawson, or Walsh?
Tom Green.
Yeah, he would be my pick. I think Dawson's getting there, though. Like, Dawson looks good. Dawson looks really good. Roy Sloane's just retired as well, so maybe Adelaide kind of have a decent turnout for him. But this week was probably the first week where it seemed like Matt Crouch didn't affect Dawson's scoring. Like, Matt Crouch shit the bed and Dawson scored well. Whereas every other time it's been Matt Crouch just scored okay and Dawson scored okay. So, yeah, could be something finally happening there.
Yeah, could be.
And Dawson had 6 clangers and gave away 2 frees for a 127. Like, when has Dawson ever had 6 clangers?
Since
that often.
The whole time I've owned him, essentially. Yeah. Mate, Hoops, I wouldn't be counting our chickens before they hatch. If there's anything Essendon, you should know us by now. I would not be surprised if we lose to North Melbourne in a couple of weeks and give them their first win at this rate.
Nah, it's not going to happen. North Melbourne's in a lot of trouble. And if you're a mature... This is the perfect year, right? If you're a fringe mature age player or someone who's, going to retire soon, looking to play an extra couple of years, this is the perfect time. Come to North Melbourne. We'll give you $1 million for a couple of years. Come and teach the young players. That's the situation our club's in at the moment. We're desperate for these older guys to come to our side. And yeah, we're just not looking great. I think we've got 6 players over 25, and a couple of them don't have a lot of experience. So unfortunately, it's like GWS when they first came in, and they at least look okay versus what we do. So yeah,
for sure.
It's a long way to go, unfortunately. And I try not to watch too many North Melbourne games.
Yeah, he's a top 4 forward, Travis, if Zorko continues to play off halfback. If he's in the forward line,
I think he will.
Yeah, he should. He should.
Fagan kind of had a crappy run.
Well done, Globes. Good hold on Kobe McKercher there. DB, Stu and Sicily are going to be the big pod tickets this year. Just got to get the timing right. Yeah, I think Stewart for me next week.
Stewart's going to be very, very cheap. I don't think you get him next week. I reckon you can wait a couple of weeks on Tom Stewart. Let me just quickly check his break even.
His break even. It's 135. I think I looked at it just before.
Yeah, but does that include his other games, though? Because I don't think he went big the week before. Yeah, so his 3-round average currently has a 77 and 108 and a 62.
Yeah.
It's not screaming top positional player for me at the moment, really.
Oh, he is.
Like Tom Stewart probably gets down to 400K, potentially.
No.
No. We'll wait and see. Sorry, not 400K. Sorry, 500K.
Yeah, I was about to say, not 400K.
He's not doing a Stephen May for a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, I would rather have a Houston or someone else. You're more than happy to run Stewart like D6 and then grab someone else later, but yeah, I don't know. I think he's just scoring. He hasn't had those monster games that we've seen. I look at his scoring. Cool, 105. 105, okay. 134, great. And then a 99, a 77, a 108, and a 62. like in game, like I know GWS has, sorry, not GWS, I know Geelong has won like every week, and maybe that has something to do with it because the ball's never in their back line. But feels like last year and other times, when he was put in those type of situations, he was still coming out with your 115s consistently. And maybe it's an SDK, but I really think it's a Zach Guthrie who's come in and started to steal a lot of those, what would be intercept points, which has freed up Stewart, but like his many scoring hasn't been as good.
I'm getting Tom Stewart in next week.
All right, you do it.
I'm
finishing my midfield next week. That's all I'm saying.
I've got one spot left, and that's going to be Petrarca in a couple of weeks' time. He's going to keep dropping in money, but I'm going to get Stewart in. Stewart, then Ryan, then Petrarca. I think in that order. Then I have a finished back line and a finished midfield. I think that's what my plan is at the moment, subject to change, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, Powell, CBAs. I think he was just testing.
Next week for me is Roberts and Howe's backline, and then Zach Meriden last spot, and maybe I think about getting like a Jack Steele on the bench and grabbing a Petrarca while he's cheap.
Nice.
I've got a lot of guys like 270 plus K on the bench, so hopefully maybe a closey plus someone else equals a big ticket item. My forward line's going to be cheap. Like Tom Powell's out, so yeah, just going cheap in the position.
Yeah, Powell. It was just a shuffling. I think Clarko was looking to mess around and see what he's got to work with. I think he'll be back in the CBAs again this week.
Hope so.
Free kick round, mate. He's a tough nut. He's the first one to the ball.
Bro,
he
got saved so hard. He was on like 60 points, and then 2 goals, bang, bang. I'm like, stuff you, Matt Rao. Ended up on 80 odd points. And then some stupid idiot decided to give him 7 free kicks. 7 free kicks.
He deserves it.
The bloody umpires got him in his SuperCoach. We've got to be careful.
He deserves it. He's a tough nut.
There's talk at the moment of VFL like corruption. I don't know if you've seen some of the touch ball things that clearly didn't touch the ball and all these other things. But, mate, Matt Rao, no 7 free kicks for you. It's not good.
Too late. You already got him.
I know.
Yeah, I agree, Jonas. I think Dempsey can go.
He's gone for me too. Him and a Powell, you've got to really be careful. Like, we'll just talk about Dempsey for a sec. Him and a Powell. If you got Dempsey at 140K, okay, no worries. Like, you've made enough money. But similar sim to a Powell, they need to be gone over the next 2 weeks, potentially all in the same week, because you're getting under 100K for a guy that you brought in. Like, I brought Dempsey in at 200K. I have not made money back on my return because Dempsey had a couple of shit weeks in a row. Like, he might make his break even, he might not. The guy was on 40 points at quarter time and then didn't score for the rest of it. Like, how devastating is that? But you got to really be careful with so much cash gen in SuperCoach at the moment. Don't. Just don't hurt yourself by keeping these type of players.
See, if I trade Powell out next week, what? I swing Garcia or Wilson forward and have them be on the field?
So that's what I'm going to do. I've got whatever forward rookie comes in. Hopefully there's a forward rookie to come in. Maybe Darcy Jones from GWS.
Yep.
For me next week is Powell and Cadman out to Darcy Jones and a midfield primo. And then swing like what's his face? Darcy Wilson into the forward line. So
right. Sounds like a plan. Shelly Bean, hello. Williams, Meek, and Powell to Merritt, Sarong, and Sweet.
I like it. Do it. Perfect. This is what boosts are for. But this is exactly what boosts are for.
Yes. Do it, son. Full send it, Bean. Travis, I traded Dempsey out last weekend and fielded 5. Fire, Trav. Cheezels, Martin, and Shitfield all the same. Mate, I feel like we've got a Scottfather fan here, I think.
I think Travis is a bit keen. Travis is a bit keen on the Oliver getting defensive status, Joe. I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. I don't think he's been playing that much backline.
He's going to get bench status at this rate. With the way he's going. But yeah, it would be amazing if we got it. But yeah, I need to see something from him before I trade him in. What? I need to. What's his break even? His break even at the moment, Clayton Oliver, 466, break even of 120. So if he goes, bro, I can't believe I'm seeing it. Clayton Oliver's projected to score 78 and 79 and 71.
Bro, he's going to be 400k, Joe. Clayton Oliver, 400k. Imagine if you had started him. Like, oh, Clayton Oliver's back. Let's go. I know some people who brought him in last week thinking, yeah, versus whoever they were playing, it's going to go well. Like, it didn't happen.
Yeah, no way. I find it hard to believe. Carl. G'day, fellas. G'day, Carl. Do you see any sub 500k forwards you could condone? McRae, Adams, or Caldwell, or would you steer clear of them all?
Not yet. And that's where I'm almost feeling like you want to stack your other positions as much as you can while the guys are still cheap. We've got rookies in the forward line scoring more than Primos. Like Sam Darcy could be a keeper for us in the forward line at this point. Like that's how scary it is. So yeah, I wouldn't do it. You can hold these players. Like if Darcy Jones comes out and scores another 70, like cool, he's just scored more than it is a one week sample size, but like Shai Bolton, crappy year. Dane Zorko hasn't been scoring that good. Is going to drop down a little bit in price. And we saw what happened with McRae. The guy was on like 20 points up till halftime. And yes, he came back, but it wasn't the best.
The only one I condone at this point is Dylan Moore. But even then, it's with a massive, massive pinch of salt because you don't know what sort of role he's going to have. His last two seasons, he's averaged 91 and 94 over 22 and 23 games. And I think in this year, that 94 and 91 average is top 6. He's currently averaging 87 so far for the year. He's had 2 now very strong performances back to back. Now, the first time around it was against North Melbourne, where you anticipate a lot of people to do well. Unfortunately, he kicked the 4 goals there. But he played against the Swans in what was a smashing, only kicked the 1 goal, but he found the pill 25 times and ended up on a 136. So that's pretty good in what is a smashing. His problem, though, is that he is a forward of center type player. And you're going to have to, unfortunately, especially playing for a bottom 4 team like the Hawks, you're going to have to expect variance in his scoring. So thankfully, the forward line, you don't necessarily need massive scoring. He's already scored a 98 and 2 over 100 scores. The problem is he's just as likely to give you a 44 as well. He also scored 104 against the Bombers. So
it'd be interesting to see how well he did. Versus like how many? Can you check his score assists on there? Or no?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, that would probably be the big thing. Is just how many times he actually kicked the ball. A little bit like what Jesse Hogan used to do. We would just be like, cool, the guy's right on the 50-meter mark, would bomb it forward and then be able to score from there. So yeah, like his stats don't scream a 136.
No, I don't know. Is it possible? To look here at the I know the AFL app can give you score involvements. Is there a way to search for him here? Dylan Moore. Is there a way if they can give us the score involvements? The score involvements mean score assists.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there score involvements?
No, scoring. What's going to come up with scoring?
Oh, in the scoring section.
Oh, no, that won't.
Scoring.
Nah, it won't show us.
Shot accuracy, shots at goal, score involvements.
That will be the big one for this year, I think.
6.7 per game.
Yep.
That's really good. That's actually more than he's ever averaged before so far. So clearly, and 2.4 of them are shots on goal himself. But yeah, he's getting some assists in front of the big sticks, which is obviously really impressive. Yes, he's a forward of center player, but those disposals aren't necessarily shots at goal. They are score assists, which are obviously extra points for his disposals inside forward 50. So if there's anyone, it's probably him. Prime of his career, 24 years old.
Don't do it now.
But don't do it now. Agreed. There are much. Yeah, just finish all your other lines. I wouldn't touch the forward line for now, for sure. Jeez, as I'm talking, we've got so many more donations.
I know, Joe. I'm like,
unbelievable.
My shit. What's going on?
G-Bags, how's it going? Do I trade in
week?
Dawson this week or wait next week for track? I was also thinking of bringing in either English or Whitfield next week.
The thing with, so I'm going to hit the second part. I wouldn't bring in Whitfield next week. I think you can wait. A lot of us are running sweet. Well, technically, a lot of us are now running sweet at R2. Big J's jumped on the train. So,
yes.
Yeah. With sweet being R2, potentially comparable scoring with an English or a Marshall at the moment, I would probably just wait. I would just wait until the buys, unless sweet shits the bed over the next couple of weeks, praying that it doesn't happen. I think we're okay not going in English. There won't be that much left in points. Can you G-Bags, and this is a question, potentially go Dawson this week and wait a week or two for track? Because I've just looked at track's break even. The guy's got an 188 break even. He's going to drop a lot in money. He's legitimately going to drop a lot. So Dawson would be the pickup this week if you don't have him, and then wait a week or two for track. Would probably be my suggestion there. But get both. It don't make it an or nothing. Like, ditch a Tom Powell. Our forward line's atrocious. We've got Primos scoring 70s and 80s. Like, you're fine. If this was Joe's team, you're fine running a Darcy Wilson at the moment in your forward line. Like, it's going to suck if he scores a 40. But I just had Jack Steele score a 70. So, upgrade the team. Forget about it now. Don't do it. Get
we
Dawson.
Know how Dawson is.
Wait 2 weeks for like a track, because Dawson's never going to be this cheap again. Dawson's done. Dawson's last week was like, okay, we wait. We copped the 20K price increase. Now, bang, we have to go big. Otherwise, that's it.
Yeah, it looks like he's finally turned the corner.
Adelaide Oval, you were laughing at 517K. Like you were having fun that week. So
yeah, get him in if you're going to get someone in. You can trade Dawson in. Oh, Mark,
thank you very much, Mark.
Marky, you are a generous man, Mark. Honestly, merit for captain, then Raul or Sarong. Merit VC, yes. And then Raul or Sarong. Sarong might cop some attention. We saw that happen to Petrarca this week. They sent the aggravated burglar onto him.
We're gonna get cancelled.
Bro, it is what it is. It's what he is. He has to embrace it so that no one can use it against him. Use it as a plate of armor. They send Pickett to him. So maybe Sarong cops some attention. Raul, though, it's hard to. I like Raul. Raul's a very safe option for Captain Mark. Merit into Raul, I think, looks very good. Mikey, wash your mouth out, Joe. Parrish is going to the moon. I hope so. If he goes to the moon, it means we're playing finals, baby. Get around us. And Trav, you don't have to do this, brother. It's probably Reed at F5. I reckon Reed is a keeper.
He's at least a cash gen for a while longer, which is fine. Like, until these players come, we might find, potentially, Rory Laird ends up being a forward status player. Petrarca ends up being a forward status. Throughout the SuperCoach season, so last year, we had quite a few players start with DPP that spent time in the forward line, or players that got it in round 6, and then even like the Bont. Was it Bont? Who else got it forward status last year in round 12?
Yeah, Bont. I think Libba already had it.
Yeah.
Trelaw?
Yeah, so there were a few players that got it at that time as well. So there's players around the mark. It just comes down to what happens one week, what happens another week. So Harley Reid could end up being like a bench player for us the way the season's going. And unfortunately, that's what happens. If you've kind of spent all your trades by round 12, you miss out on these primo guys and you're stuck with, cool, I've got Zorko, you've got Bond. Like, I know which one I'd rather have.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, Zorko could do really well, of course, if as long as he's playing in that half back role, then obviously the guy is going to be an absolute superstar for us. Jeez, I scrolled down to get to this thing, and now I'm trying to scroll back up. I've bloody lost where we are. Okay, there we go. I found myself again. Is Bailey-Dale top 6? Don't think so, Travis. He never has been. Find it hard to believe that he will be now.
Yeah, he's cheap. And that's probably the big thing is he's cheap. So if you want to go cheaper in the back line, 100%. Like the guy's in form. I don't think Bevo's going to do anything to screw that up yet. But if Richards or Daniel or someone else comes in, it could affect him a little bit. I think there's better options.
Yeah. Brad, how's it going, Brad? No way, brother. If you haven't subbed to SuperCoach Pro, mate, he's like this month, he has ramped it up. So many live streams coming on, and they're good fun. So if you haven't subbed to Brad, head on over to SuperCoach Pro, sub to him. How's it going, brother? Trading Marshall this week, as am I. He's gone, or I'll split him into Dale and Fife. Wild times. I don't trust Dale. I trust Fife more than I trust Dale. That's saying something.
Yep.
I reckon getting Gawn is probably more worth it. No?
Let me just check. So I don't want to make
Gawn is $710,000.
Gawn's going to go up in price this week, Joe.
He's going up even more. Yes.
He's going to be more expensive than English was to start. I mean, I don't want to say that to you because that hurts, but he's going to be more expensive than English was to start. It's rough. It's a rough situation. I almost feel like, and I hate to say this, but I almost feel like you really just need to check the level of scoring and seeing if, let's pretend, right? Cool. We'll say Dale. Let's say Dale scores 100 and let's say Fife scores a 90. Is that going to be better for you than the guys that you're going to trade out to get Gawn? You really got to start when a guy's this expensive, and this is for anyone, guys. But if Gawn is this expensive, he starts to really hurt your upgrades. At some point, you have to say, okay, forget Max Gawn. I'm going to upgrade 2 rookies to Primos in my team before I get Max Gawn in. And the potential for a jump in levels of scoring is better for me to do that than to do that, if that makes sense. Like, Gawn plus a rookie could potentially not be better than 2 other players. Now, Dale and Fife are very cheap. So, in this sense, if both of them go 90 and Gawn and a rookie, it's a little bit different, but we're going to get to a time when you just can't do it. Like, it's too expensive.
Having all your eggs in one basket.
Wait for it.
Yeah. The question becomes, is it worth having all your eggs in one basket? Because what happens if that egg, if that basket gets raided? What happens if Max Gawn cops a knock? All of your investment has been into one super expensive player, whereas if you have 2, you're diversifying the portfolio and you have chance to do things. But he is a VC option /C option every single week. He's almost worth it at this point. Yeah, he could even be 790K if he keeps going.
And this is the point where, on the opposite end, if Max Gawn gets to 790K, and I still need to get an English or someone in my team, and Sweet's there. I think it was Skodfather, the guy that made, everyone knows him, got top number 4 position a few years ago.
Yes.
He traded out Lockie Neal when he was very, very, very expensive. Downgraded. Lockie Neal lost cash, but it was more the points on field that it was. Some of us are really going to be tempted if you've got limited trades left. Cool. Saying Max Gawn, 790K. I can downgrade to a Tim English. Potentially make similar scoring from then on. Bank 130K. And then go and upgrade somewhere else. At that point, it might even be worth starting to consider those things. Like, it's like stocks, right? Not everyone's got Bitcoin, but people have got Bitcoin, people have got stocks, things like that. You sell when it's at the top. You're going to keep playing. You sell when it's at the top, you don't hold. If you need to upgrade your team, if Max Gawn gets to 790, people are going to jump off. Be like, cool, take the 120. I'm upgrading the rest of my team with the money. It's going to happen.
Man, I'm still not sure. I still might trade a Max Gawn in this week.
No,
because if I don't
upgrade the team,
if I don't get him, how many players am I going to have to trade out? And I got no boosts.
Yeah, but look at his projected. But look at his projecteds. Go back to his projected underneath. Like, cool. You suffer a little bit right now. It doesn't matter. You're upgrading your team. You're getting rid of rookies, right? Jordan Sweet, let's pretend he goes 100 every week from here on. 105. Can he do a 105, Joe? Let's benchmark this at a 10. Jordan Sweet 105. Cool. Who did you upgrade from Tuke Miller to get Tuke Miller?
Dempsey.
Yeah. So Dempsey's getting a 60. I think it's better. I think a 105 plus whatever Tuke Miller is going to score you at this point is going to be better than Max Gawn plus Dempsey. Like, you're increasing in points. You're just waiting for this week when, oh shit, after Max Gawn's bye, he's going to drop in price. Like, he's not going to consistently score a 130 every week.
He can.
And if that happens later on, let's give it. So go back to Gawn's scoring, right? Scroll down. So let's pretend. Cool. Max Gawn after his bye is round 14. You can go Sweet plus a rookie to Max Gawn in round 14. And you've got another Primo and Dempsey off the field. And you're scoring more up to that point. Like, it sucks, but it's a no-brainer at this point. Like, you've got Jordan Sweet in your team, that's fine. He's going to make you a lot of money. He's going to score comparably.
He's not going to scare comparison. He's not going to score comparably.
No, but the two players, Dempsey and Max Gawn, is going to score comparatively to Tuke Miller and Jordan Sweet. Like, you're getting more money this week. You've done the trades, right? So think about it this week. Like, Jordan Sweet scores 100, Tuke Miller scores 120.
Okay,
that's 220 versus Max Gawn's what? 162 plus. Yeah. You're up in points. Don't do the trades. Finish your team. Finish the back line. Finish the midfield. Forget about the forward line and the rucks for right now. That's the way to go.
You know what? If I finish this season without Max Gawn, we have to make a movie out of this. A documentary. We have to make a documentary. The struggles of a non-Max Gawn owner.
Non-Max Gawn over.
Wait. Whoa.
What did you do?
What just happened? What is this formatting?
I just had this formatting too. SuperCoach just changed live on stream. What is it? Has anyone else got it in there? Like, refresh your SuperCoaches. Has it legitimately just changed for everyone else? Let us know.
What the heck? This looks sick. Just like that. The history button's right there. The field is there. The field of dreams. Yo. All right. Burgaroo's got it. All right. So this is an official change. It's just changed on us midstream. There you go. Freddie's got it. Velo's got it. Look at that. Some live UI change here for SuperCoach. I thought I bugged it out.
Yep. Done. All they need is like the players' pictures, like the overlay does, and we're set.
And Bob's your uncle. Oh, Velo, merit not losing cash this week, but mate, we gotta try and keep Zach Merritt low ownership, mate.
Yeah, but you say that as well. And we have spoken about how the Eagles score well against opposition mids. Like, they nullify opposition mids a little bit.
Look at this.
I know.
Even
How good does it look?
And you can press compare?
Yeah. Compare the pair. Whoa, Zach. Whoa.
Unbelievable. Yo.
People
Let's
are going
go
to
back
flip
to
their
him.
shit so hard.
Look at this. It's got the break even. All of it is right here in front of you.
Yep.
It's even got the day, the time.
And the notes.
Wait, can I move your face for a second?
Yep.
It's even got upcoming game, where it is. It's got the notes.
All right, be right back 1 second.
This is mad. I like this, boys and girls. I don't know if you like it or not, but this looks pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool, if I don't say so myself. Gooznor, how's it going? Ballydow, top 6 whipping boy. Yeah, you can say that again. You will regret it this week, Joe. Reed coming for merit. Oh, we'll see about that, mate. We'll see about that. Do you think Hogan bounces back this weekend against the Swans? He's a big boy. Not sure if anyone has the capacity to go with him. So I think maybe he does have a strong bounce back, but it depends a lot on the supply. He's not going to fly like he did last week, where the Brisbane Lions were just witches' hats. So maybe. Are we bringing fan cams back? We'll have to talk about that, Jonas. We didn't have enough people do the fan cams on the Sunday evening. So if there is renewed interest from a lot of people, then we can try that. Tom Green or Sarong? I think Tom Green, simply because he's probably the cheapest out there. Plus, I think Sarong is going to cop some picket action. Travis, when is Soldo back in the ruck? 4 to 6 weeks, I think, Travis. One thing people are forgetting is Sweet didn't have a 2-legged opponent. That's true, Sim. Yeah. Marshall was barely hobbling on 1. Brad, what rookie do you lads prefer, Rogers or Garcia? Yes, I agree. We're going with Rogers, Brad. They said the same thing about Oliver. They've said a lot of things about Oliver Cheese. Rob may teach a lesson or two. He could. If Sweet lights it up, his job security is definite. His job security is already safe for the next 4 to 6 at least. He went over to Port for Josh Carr, who he won his sample premiership with as a junior. There you go. Extra story. He could overtake Soldo as the number 1 ruck.
It could be Briggs, but cheaper.
Let's go to the moon. Briggs. Adelaide likely to tag Butters. Oh, hope not. Rozee out just means Butters gets his CBAs back. Yes, exactly. That's what I think, Jamon. Dash. I have Jackson and Grundy as my rucks. What should I do, guys?
Dash. You know what you got to do? If Jackson is there, get rid of someone in your forward line, preferably a Dempsey or someone, and then swing him back. That's the first thing you have to do. Go Dempsey to Sweet, put Jackson in the forward line. He's there. And then upgrade as you go. Unfortunately, you've got to keep Grundy at this point, but that's all right.
Yep.
Upgrade the team, forget about it.
Correct. Brad, not going to lie, I think Sweet could be a R2 keeper.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. People had Soldo at that point. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, Craze Fit. He had 12 kick-ins. You are reading this correctly. Move Jackson forward and get another ruck like Gawn or English. There you go. That's another option there. Yep. Globes, we all need some sort of strategy to start building our forward lines. We need to play the fixtures and try to predict some ceiling games for certain players.
It's going to be, as I said before, it's really going to be which primo mids get DPP to start with. I think a lot of us are going to have 3 forwards. So even if it ends up being, Heaney, Flanders, and then Harley Reid, depending on what he's doing, potentially a Darcy. Like everyone else in my forward line is potentially going to go in the bin at that point. I've got 2 guys on the bench. I've got the other players ready to go. Everyone else is expendable is the right word. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. But it could end up being a bit different. You're right there, Joe. You're kind of fiddling around with stuff.
I'm just fiddling around. I want to see what it looks like. But it looks mostly the same. Mike has Butters, but he doesn't trust him, mainly because he's a dead ringer for Ramsey Bolton.
Yeah. Just wait till he plays the Dogs and we'll see what happens.
Shawnee, fellas, your thoughts on McGrath, defender for Essendon. He's had one ordinary game, 69 points. Other 6 games averaged 112, spells value. He does, Shawnee. He's actually had a wonderful season to date. I've been very pleased with Andy McGrath, with Pigeon, but I will not go there because we know his kicking as Essendon supporters. We know his kicking can be very hit or miss. Plus, we've still got Ridley to come back into the team. And when Rids comes back, I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to give us a lot of kicking out of the back line as well, some intercept marking. Maybe it could also feed him so that he can do some running and gunning out of the back line. But I wouldn't go Andy McGrath, Shawnee. He's not top 6, I don't think. I have a gut feel there, rest I should watch.
If you look at his scoring, it's not like he's had a lot of good games and then one bad game. He has been averaging a 106, which is great, but I don't think a 106 is going to be backline keeper. And for 500k, you're bringing in backline keepers at that point. So don't do it for me.
Yeah, no.
Like no one says Primo Andy McGrath.
Love you, Pidge, but not for Supercoach.
A big head.
Nathan, ranked 660. Well done, son. Powell has to go. Lost all CBAs. You're better off looping other rookies. Thoughts on Merritt or Bond?
Yep. Which is why I'm saying
Merritt or Bond as rookies.
Which is why I've said, hey, look, like Flanders and Heaney and potentially Harley Reid and Sam Darcy at the moment are the guys I'm keeping in my forward line. Everyone else is expendable. Like, and if Powell becomes good and ends up being a keeper, cool. I bring him back in at like 480k. In a few weeks. I'd rather use the money plus someone else now to upgrade in my team than not worry too much about the upgrades later on. So, yeah, something to consider there a little bit. But Powell has to go. Powell's always going to be a stepping stone. If he ends up being a keeper, get him in cheap. Get him in for like 20k, 30k, 40k more down the line.
All of the questions are all about Powell.
Yeah, and I got this one too. Are you guys tracking? Next week, Powell.
Me too.
Powell. Just because I think Dempsey is a bigger trade out than Powell.
Yes.
I almost had enough money to trade both. I couldn't do it. So I'm going one and then the other one.
Like, we just gotta see. Like, he had all of the CBAs.
Thanks, Jono.
Cheers, Jono. He had all the CBAs up until that point, and then all these 14 was essentially in the last quarter. So he's got to go back into the mids. If he's not in the mids this week, then he's gone. Correct. The experiment failed. Dale has scored. Yes, he has.
Yep. Dale has been very, very good.
They're good rookies. Correct. Should I get in Petrarca, Steele, Ryan, or Whitfield? Or another premium mid or back? Not Steele. Steele's injured. Petrarca will continue to get cheaper. Ryan is probably my selection out of those 4. And even he is getting cheaper. If you don't have Stewart, I reckon get Stewart in first. And then you can get Ryan afterwards. But if you want a cheap mid, then you're probably looking at Tom Green. Big J, what are you? I think Tom Green is probably the best time to get him in. Cheap mid. If you haven't got Tom Green, then you can look at Tuke Miller. I think those are value right now in your midfield. You're back. And now I can't hear you.
That's all right. And that's the big thing too. This week is not the week that you bring in defenders. I know we've had some talk about Whitfield. There's so many mids that are very, very cheap. So many. Like, save some money, 2 weeks, get Petrarca in.
Yeah.
Sarong's around the mark still. Unfortunately, Steele's going to be cheap. A few of these guys that have just decided they're going to drop in price. So,
yes, correct. Andy, on the Geelong Cats versus Carlton game, How can Carlton come back win? They didn't. They were close, but they left it too late.
I tipped Carlton, unfortunately. Cost me one of my tips. I went 7 this week. Didn't tip West Coast, which is probably the big thing. But yeah, I thought Carlton were going to win. No Tom Stewart. And
yeah, that's what I thought too. Does Sheasel move to mid, risk his high scores?
No.
I don't think so.
What was his midfield run this week, Joe? Do you have it there?
We'll have a look. Harry Cheezel. Harry the Cheezel Factory. CBA is 14%.
He's not going to be the thing with Sheasel. He's not going to be. Oh, can you pull up his kick-ins? I'd be interesting to see those.
He had
this week compared to McKercher.
He had 3 kick-ins. Last week he had 4.
Yeah. So the midfield mix is not going to be, hey, he's going to play 100% midfield. He hasn't lost the role in the back line. It just means that he's going to play a little bit of midfield time. And I think with Tom Powell potentially moving back to the midfield this week, that could even drop down a little bit further. So, yeah, I don't think we're in that much trouble.
No, don't think so either. Rodney, Sicily slowly moving into contention.
Yep.
Not for me.
Sicily is going to be around the same price as Tom Stewart. So you may pick one of them. You may pick both.
No.
We'll wait and see what happens.
No, I'd rather Tom Stewart. Tom Stewart's actually going to be intercepting, and he can get cheap ball.
I'd rather
yeah, or you could have both. Stewart and Dan Houston.
If you have enough money, just like chuck some money at both. But Sicily's it's a weird one. I feel like his scoring's been very much up, down, up, down, up, down. Like that does not scream, Joe. That doesn't scream top 6 defender. Like Andy McGrath basically had those numbers.
Correct. So yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's not great.
I wouldn't go there. Correct. Sweet at R3 is the play for sure.
Is the safe play. When we make a video next week, sweet. It's sour, and then we can't do our picks, and we have to bring Lloyd Meek in because he's the only one we can afford. Like, Joe's got him on the bench.
Here it is.
Sure, no more. Hey, I can do that too.
B, thoughts on Massimo, Marshall, and Powell to Zeret, Sweet, and Flanders? Yes. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I think Flanders is top 6. So Flanders is,
and it's,
if not F1, F2 this year.
And it's trades like this that the sweep downgrade allows you to do. Like this week, I would be considering offloading Tom Powell and getting 2 Primos in to be able to do it. So Tom Powell, let's say 390K next week. Hopefully that gives me enough money to be able to do stuff.
I actually wouldn't pay 578K.
I would. To guarantee a guy that's scoring, I wouldn't pay it for Zorko. I wouldn't have paid it for some of the other guys like a Shai Bolton. But Flanders has been top 6 mid for the rest of the season, and has slowly been going up in money. I think I think the scoring's just nice.
It is nice, but he's literally the same price as Tom Green. If you don't own Tom Green, I'd get Tom Green ahead of Flanders.
Yeah, probably.
Or a Miller ahead of Flanders if you don't own Miller for 13,000 more. They have lower break evens than Flanders, whose break evens 116. So I'd rather get an Uber Primo mid than an Uber Primo forward, I think, at this point.
My SuperCoach is broken.
Nice.
Yeah.
How are we? You're doing well, Jono. Doing well, bro. Weird gained 145. He's been a good starting selection, I reckon, Velo. I like it. Flag Pies. Hi, lads. What an epic match. I agree. I liked how it finished in the draw. I know some people, everyone's, we want a result. Bro, we got a result. It was a draw. Both teams walk away with 2 points. I thought both teams had opportunities to win it, but it was so close, and neither team capitalized on those opportunities. For you, I think the two obvious ones were Maya Check missing twice out on the full in the exact same spot. Clearly, he doesn't like that spot on the ground. Meanwhile, for us, we had Langford miss that obvious one. And then we also had Jake Stringer miss from top of the goal square. So I think our opportunities were a little bit easier to convert. So that's why I can understand some Essendon supporters out there might be walking away with a bitter taste in their mouth, knowing that we could have won that game. But for me, I think both teams had moments of dominance in terms of momentum. And I think ultimately I'm just relieved that I'm seeing my team move in a positive direction.
Yeah.
The Essendon of last year was up by 30 points at 3/4 time and lost by 20. You know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculously bad. So I think this year is finally a year where, even with some big names out like Jordan Ridley, for example, Archie Perkins, Dylan Shield, etc., we're able to draw with you guys. So yeah, great game, great results. Our percentages aren't great for both teams, and I think the draw, those extra 2 points, will come in very handy for a fight for the 8. So yes, I agree on all fronts. It was a very epic match.
Yeah, I think so.
Zach Stewart, thoughts on trades? Dempsey, Manor, and Powell in Sarong, Sweet, Garcia.
I don't mind it. Manor, I don't know what's happened, and it's really nice to get a dead rookie off your bench.
Correct.
That's my feeling at the moment. So, yeah, do it.
Yeah, that was very good.
Spending a boost probably when you don't have to, but Manor out makes a big difference, man. Yeah, I would advocate for a Jake Rogers, but I don't know. Globe was asking the question as well. Are we not going cash cows? Do we not have any cash cows, really? Sweet. Manor. Sorry, not Manor. Jake Rogers is there. Garcia are probably your 3 global.
Correct.
Sweet.
Correct. Sim actually tipped Eagles for the first time for the Essendon game, so Bombers will be fine. I love it, Sim. Thank you. The reverse mods. Jacob's asking, Dawson or Miller? Good question. I'm going to say
personally would go Dawson. I would go Dawson. I would go Dawson. That's why Joe and I are not the same person.
Correct. Correct. Go. You have 30 seconds. Why Dawson?
Dawson, a lot of us had picked as a top 6 primo. Or top 8 primo, obviously, starting the season. His scoring's been there. Everything's been good. He's looked good the last 2 weeks. Even with Crouch being in the team this week, it's been a huge thing. And he's cheaper. So you can potentially bank, 40K around that mark from over a Tuke Miller. Yes, the run might not be as good. Gold Coast aren't as dominant, but I like Dawson. I think he's okay.
Beautiful. 31 seconds. Well said. I'm going Tuke Miller because I think Tuke Miller has had 2 years back-to-back of 120 plus scoring, which is absolutely top 8 caliber scoring. He was on track for that last year before he got injured. This year, he is an absolute mainstay. There are no question marks over his role. Dimmer Hardwick is running a very tight-knit quartet going through there, and there is no doubt in my mind every single week it's always Rao, Anderson, and Tuke Miller in the CBAs. He's got North Melbourne twice to come, which obviously is a better fixture. He's got a 149 last week against the Eagles, and I think he's more than likely to go big up as a top 8 mid. There we go. Brad, imagine trading out Roberts a few weeks ago. Oh, geez.
Yep.
That would have been tragic.
This is why we hold our rookies, especially this year, when you know the role is there. This is when you keep them, right? A lot of people traded out Darcy Wilson, and now the guy's going to be 300K. Like, it happens, and it sucks when you're on the other end. Just try not to make it happen too much. Probably the big thing.
Indeed. Charlie, thoughts on going Cadman, Campbell, Comben to Sweet, Merritt, and McAuliffe? Yeah, see if McAuliffe is named. If McAuliffe isn't named, then obviously we wouldn't recommend that spot.
I would probably say a Garcia is better than McAuliffe. If you can do a DPP swing, I would 100% do it. McAuliffe is just a weird player, and Bevo's going to play Garcia to the Captain Flash is saying here, Howes as well, people trading him out. Did you trade out Howes, Joe?
I did.
Yeah.
In the week, of course, I trade him out, and in the first quarter, Christian Salem does a hammy. Of course, Christian Salem does a hammy the week I trade out Howes.
And now Blake Howes has a -2 break even. And he's going to be
so annoying.
Yep.
So annoying.
That's SuperCoach.
Do you reckon Josh Draper to Jordan Sweet through an abundance of DPPs is a good trade?
Yes.
Well, Josh Draper's done, so yeah.
If you can't do anything else, yes, drop her out. Like Sexton, I think's okay. Sexton, he's playing VFL, he's doing okay. He's going to make you some more money later on. But Josh Draper was always a scare. I'm very happy I did not spend a boost and force Josh Draper in my team because he was always set. Like his highest score was a 60. He was always set to not score great. A lot of people jumped on him, and he's suffering at the moment. Similar with the Jai Clark, like not great.
He's missing 2 weeks with that hammy. Roberts to Oliver in round 10 for profit, and Oliver has West Coast.
Yep. You can do it. You can almost swap in a couple of weeks. You could almost swap a Closey to Oliver. I think you'd be very, very close. Closey has fallen off a little bit in terms of scoring, but you could almost swap a Closey to Oliver, and you'd be very, very happy.
Player might not even average 100 at this point. Looks way off. He does, doesn't he? Don't do it, Bailey.
Every week's not too bad.
No, it's not. Don't do it, Bailey. It's not worth it. He had 12 kick-ins. He's not going to do that every week.
No, he's not going to score 100. This will. I'm going to say it now, and I don't say it very often, but big warning to guys like Bailey and whoever else is watching. Trades like this will kill your season. 100%. They will kill your season. It's not like bringing in Dempsey, who is going to make you 320k and you're going to be happy, whatever. McKercher is not going to score 100 every week. It's not going to happen. Yes, he's got a low break even. If you held him, fantastic. Do not do stuff like this. Like, just no. Big J says no.
Don't do it. Harry, thoughts on Cadman and Powell to Sweet and Rogers? No Primos in this week, but I have 413,400 in the bank.
Yep. Yeah, I don't mind it. It's more about you just being able to get the Primos you want next week, because I assume you're looking to double upgrade, which means that, I don't know, 413k is enough money, to be honest, to double upgrade. It's all about making sure you've got the players on the field to cover the scores, really, is the big thing.
I mean, who would you be looking at next week? You'd be looking at...
not going -3 matches. Are we looking at players to bring in?
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at, because next week, who's going to be in the bubble? Darcy Jones might be someone you trade in. Daniel Turner.
Darcy Jones is the one that I'm looking at. I don't think you would touch Turner. Darcy Jones really is. You could go Hardiman in the back line for North Melbourne. He looked okay.
Or Cooper Simpson?
Potentially. There are some options. You could even go like a Voss or someone like that if you were that desperate. But it sucks. Scroll up, Joe. It sucks missing out on this player. Keep going all the way to the top. It sucks missing out on Garcia. People are going to bring Garcia in this week, and he's going to make a lot of money. Like -74 break even is juiced. It's going to be 200k in 2 weeks. So,
it's very important, Dibba. Very important, especially as you run out of boost. It is everything.
Everything. Joe, how much is your team worth at the moment? Do you have money in the bank? Did you have money in the bank going into this week?
97,000.
So your team value was effectively, let's say, 12,710.
Yeah.
You know what my team value was this week?
12,800 something.
13,440k.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah. Cash gen is everything, boys. You need to make a team that is going to end up being around 14 million. That's going to be the price of your team. Around that. If you can't make it,
Max Gawn is all that price rise for you.
He's not all the price.
He is all
so,
that price rise for you.
You
All
need
of
to
it.
you need to make it. So what it is, Joe, it's guys like me keeping House over you. It's all those kind of little trades that end up jumping up a little bit. Cash gen is everything at this point, and this is why I'm such a big advocate of getting rid of your Manners, get rid of your Jai Clark, get rid of all these players that just aren't scoring well. You need to get rid of them, because in 3 or 4 weeks, when your Darcy Wilson and everything else is there, you just can't upgrade your team. You're gonna be like, I've got no money. I'm spending a boost. I'm spending a trade on getting 50K from a dead rookie like Jai Clark. Don't do it. Cash gen is everything. Everything, especially now when we've got rookies on field and rookies on the bench scoring 70s and 80s. That's comparable in our forward line. You can go a rookie and then bring in another player. Don't do it. And Joe, don't bring in Max Gawn. It's stupid. Don't bring Max Gawn.
Max Gawn's gone up basically 127K. English has gone down 123K.
Yep. But then even if that happens, my team's still 150K more expensive.
That's like 250K right there. And then I traded in Marshall, who's lost money. Who else has lost money? Merritt's lost money, of course.
But you have to do it. Money. You gotta get rid of all the dead rookies. I've had seasons personally, especially after the mid-season draft, when you bring in this guy because he's named like in the first week or two, and they're like, yeah, I got this guy in. Get rid of all these players. All the dead ones, guys, dead. Off the bench. If they haven't played, dead. Chuck them in the bin. That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
Bob the Builder, best forwards to pick up this week.
Riley Garcia. He's probably the best forward this week. Let's be honest. He's the best forward to pick up this week. So Correct. If you don't have him, that's it.
Zorko should go back to halfback.
You can wait, though. Zorko's going to drop in money.
Yeah, because Zorko's now got a really high break even, which is good. What is it? 124. Oh, that's not that bad, actually. He can get it.
Yeah, but I think that low score is going to be in his cycle for a couple of weeks. So he's at least stuck. He's not going to go up a lot.
Okay, how do I see his points? Oh, is it here?
Yeah, I think they've just merged everything. So scroll down. Yeah.
Oh, yes. He's gotten a few times, 127, 130.
But like after round 3, he's a forward keeper.
Yeah.
But I just don't think he's going to you don't need to worry about his cash gen at the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Upgrade everywhere else. There's no forwards. The thing is, there's no forwards that are going to hurt you more than missing out on a Tom Green or missing out on a Tuke Miller or someone like that at sub 600K. Like, which one are you going to get, Joe? Zorko or Tom Green for 30K more?
Tom Green!
Exactly, right? So, yeah, you know which one.
Who do you prefer this week, Dawson or Track next week?
Oh, I think we did this, right?
I think we might have.
I went on a big rant about getting both.
Get both in. So on my C this week. Zorko Lions draw finally opening up. Fair enough.
Yep.
Hey, lads, is it too early to trade me? No.
The thing with Zorko is that McKenna's back. So it's really going to start to affect his scoring. You've just kind of got to gauge it. I don't think McKenna played. I think, did McKenna and Coleman get injured in the first time, or was it Coleman pre-season and then it was McKenna round 1 or 2, right? Pretty sure that's how it was.
Yeah, it was McKenna. I think McKenna was
when Zorko went big.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do I trade Wanganeen Miller or Shea Bolton to Sarong? Neither. I think Wanganeen Miller pops off. He's got the St Kilda. He's got the Marvel run to come, and I think there's going to be a bit of a mix-up in the back line. I think his role is secure. Not sure if Bonner keeps his spot in that back line. He's offered absolutely nothing.
I don't like him. I think there's too many.
You don't like him?
I think there's too many people in the back line. He was okay before, and then Sinclair came back and started doing stuff off the half back line as well. And there's 4 people. Miller takes a lot of his points from the kick-ins, which is great, but also his transition work. And now they've got 3 other players running through the same position. So, like, he's scoring
I
in
think they have to get rid
SuperCoach,
of Bonner.
no doubt. Like, it's going to be okay. But, like, he's definitely fallen off. He's not the keeper that we thought in, like, round 1 or 2, where he could potentially be.
He had 26 disposals, 69% efficiency.
He scored 80. He scored an 80. So, cool. That goes up to, like, a 90, 95. He's still not a keeper.
No, I'll go up higher than that. Yeah, I mean, that's not too bad, but
he's still not a keeper in the back line.
Maybe, but I don't know. I think he's got the Marvel run. I think once they drop Bonner, I think they have to drop Bonner.
I don't think they will drop Bonner. That's what I'm saying. You keep saying they're going to drop Bonner. I don't think they are.
Bro, they have to. If they want to win, they got to drop Bonner.
Well, I don't think
they have to.
Thinks that way.
Williams, Meek, and Powell to Merritt, Strong, and Sweet.
Yep.
Yes,
we've already read this show.
Oh, okay. Yes, we are doing very well. How are you, Jen? Calm the draw.
Jen.
Luke, Meek versus Marshall is a 400+ point swing.
Yep.
Okay. I'm doing it. Sherry to Sweet. Then boosting Mass up and Dempsey up.
Yep.
Double upgrade. Good. Very cool. Does Pickett go to Sarong this week?
Potentially. Potentially, but I think Pickett goes to Brayshaw. I think that's a big thing.
Fingers crossed. Best VC if Gawn is C this week.
All right. Let's have a think about it. Not Jordan Sweet as much as we would have liked it to be.
If Gawn is the captain, when does Gawn play? Gawn
plays Saturday. So it's Adelaide, Port, Carlton, Collingwood.
It's Sheasel.
No.
Walsh.
Sam Walsh is a fairly good shout, I think. You could go Houston. Houston and Adelaide Oval would be sexy if you've got Houston.
Yeah. Could be very good. Meek is damn good. Reeves never getting back in that side. Fair enough.
Yep.
Sorry, Causa. We're running out of time. We only have like about 8 minutes. I need help with my team. I have 808K. Can you have a look? Because I need help bad. 1-2 premiums for Marshall and Cadman. Value ones. The only value premiums are Bailey Dale and Dawson and Tom Green. But I think you already have him.
Go Nat Fife, but I don't know if he's going to be much help for you.
Do I go Tuke or Zeret for Ambrosio? Look, I think Merritt scores more for the year, but you're obviously paying up for him.
Yeah.
There is a difference of 640 to 591. You're paying about 50K more. I reckon Merritt.
Yeah, no, I'll take Merritt.
Yeah, take Merritt. Okay, cool.
The only problem is I think Merritt's not going to drop in cash, which really sucks.
Yeah. Melbourne Essendon games too close together to VC. One and the other. Yeah, they are pretty close. 7:30, 8:10.
Yep.
Pretty close, you're right. Sarong against the Tigers 150. Hope you okay. Yeah, I know, me too. Maybe next time, Jen. Sorry, not enough time. Go the Mighty Bombers. Let's go, brother. Which of these three are most likely top 6 to 8? Caldwell, Grind, Myers, or McRae?
McRae. The other two, I don't think so. Potentially Caldwell, but Joe will give us the lowdown on the midfield mix. But yeah.
Bro, there's too many mouths to feed in that midfield. As long as Calder stays in that midfield mix, then yes, him ahead of McRae. Gawn into Ralph for me this week. Very nice, Jen. Very nice. Ross, Sun's gone Ross. Seems like Zach Reid will be out for 2 to 3 weeks. For the next few months. So I wonder how long we went on Draper.
It says available around 9 and 10. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens next week and the week after. But
I love that. That was so funny. I love it, Ross. That was beautiful. Mackay, yes, he could very well be the best forward at that price. 24.69. Very nice, Ben. Superstar. Nice. William, best premium to bring in Whitfield and Ryan or Rowell, Steele, or Petrarca?
Didn't we just do this? I feel like we did this. Matt Rowell's good. I wouldn't probably touch the rest.
Yeah.
My pick. Ryan's going to be cheap.
I have
I mean,
enough to
Ryan
bring
could
it
score a
in.
165 this week. Oh my gosh.
Who is the one primo in the mid that you can get this week that you need to get this week?
My brain says so wrong, but my heart says Zach Merritt. I think these guys have been scoring your 130s every week and just look good doing it. I would get one of those two. I don't like Matt Rao. I had my chance. That's it. But yeah, Merritt or Sarong. Sarong is very, very good, and the bye round is perfect. Like a lot of us are going to struggle round 12, round 14. Sarong navigates through that quite hard. So yeah.
Yep. Ruse beating Saints this week would be insane.
No chance.
We'd love to go with you guys. I think we'll do it. Causa. I think we'll do that. How good was Jamie's mark? Top notch. Give him the car. Give him the car. Do I boost to trade out Rozee or keep? Keep.
The only way I would do it is if he's going to be out like 2 to 3 weeks, potentially. But if it's only 1 week, just hold him. We've got enough rookies on the bench.
I have Zeret, Sarong, Rao, and 3 Essendon players. Got Caldwell. Oh, yes, right on. Essendon does give up an easy one along the way. We do, don't we? Frank. Hi, guys. How are you, Frankie? Bring in Rogers or Garcia? Rogers.
I would bring in Garcia. Purely, well, there's 2 reasons. I think Rogers scoring 98 isn't going to happen ever again. Garcia is probably scoring around what he's scoring. And Rogers has the 20-odd in his cycle as well. So you could probably get him at like 160K next week.
Yeah, I'm not paying 160K for him next week.
Yeah.
22 disposals.
They were playing West Coast, man. Like, West Coast.
That's a good spot for it, though.
Yeah, but Rogers kicked like 4 goals.
No, he didn't. He kicked 2 goals. Wait, how many? No, 1 goal.
1 goal. Okay, my brain's telling me no. Where did all his scoring come from then?
I imagine that these are all score assists.
Potentially. Maybe. But I would bring in Garcia. You can go Rogers if you want, but I would go Garcia. I think bringing in a forward line rookie is probably good at this point anyway. We have DPP, but yeah, Jono does say a 98 is a 98, so take that as it is.
That it is. Trading in 5 this week. Oh, big call. McAuliffe. We'll see. If he's named, then yes. But if he's not named, then no.
I don't think so.
I'm getting Oliver in either this week or next week. He was 100 times cleaner, look way better. It's true. I do agree with that legend. I wouldn't be surprised if he's getting in my side in the next couple of weeks.
He's cheap.
He's very cheap. Yeah, I saw that footage, Causa. That looked really ridiculous. He was skipping onto the field and does a hammy as he's getting on.
Yeah, he brings his job security.
I know, right? Hi, guys. Hi, Michael. Out Cadman Powell in green suite at R3. Should Marshall be an out instead? I have no boosts left. Yeah, I trade out Marshall, Michael. That's what I've done.
Yeah.
I'm holding Powell for a week, seeing if he gets that midfield rotation then again. If he does, then we're fine to hold him. Whereas Marshall is not going to be top line. He looks injured. He looks cooked. And I'm happy to trade him out to get that money. And then if Powell shits the bed again next week, then we can piss him off. Love you, Mark. Calm the Dons. Issa, Fife, and Roberts, are they keepers? I think Fife is more likely than Roberts. Just because of the forward line. Whereas Roberts, he's not going to be top line in either mid or back line.
Yeah, Roberts is going to be a decent enough cash cow. I mean, he obviously is. He's already made 300K, but Fife in our forward line purely for the fact that he's popping out a couple of hundred, which is great. But our forward line players are just shit. So
they are.
An 80 or a 90 could end up being keeper status in our forward line, which is depressing.
Marshall, Powell, and Crouch to Sweet, Merritt, and Sarong. Ooh!
I like it. Do it.
Nice, James. Next time, flag players. Not enough time. Love the show, boys. Rank 660. Going to loop the forward line for 7 scores. Powell and Cadman are gone. Sweet. And then I can get Merritt, or should I go value in Dawson? I like Merritt, Nathan. Trade Wilson to 5 this week, or keep and wait for Ryan. Nah, Wilson keeps making money. Wilson's got a low break even.
Don't trade Wilson.
His break even is 0. His break even is 0.
That's what doing an 88 does for you.
It's a bad idea for me to get Anderson instead of Dawson.
I would go Dawson. I think.
Yeah.
I know Joe's talked a lot about Gold Coast and all their players and everything like that. I think at some point there's too many mouths to feed in the team. That's my feeling. I'd rather get the best player on another team than a guy who could be sharing points with 4 other players in the midfield already, plus your Closey and your Rogers and I don't think his scoring's that sustainable.
Yeah, I'd go Dawson. Thoughts on Campbell, Cadman, Comben, Merritt, McAuliffe, Sweet. Yeah, that sounds good. I like it.
Yeah. I wouldn't go McAuliffe though. I'd go Garcia if you can afford him.
Yeah, for sure. Pickett could tag Sarong like it did to Track. Owners beware. Yeah, very true. Surprise, surprise. Big J, Eddie Maguire doesn't want 19 teams until he wants out.
I saw this today. I don't know if it's going to happen to North Melbourne, but we look crap. We absolutely look like dog shit right now. And one of the things that North Melbourne's done has become a team that doesn't owe money anymore, and we're making profits, which is great. But it all comes down to fan engagement and play performances on field. And if it comes out to be 2028, or even if there's I think the Greens and stuff are fighting to not have a team in Tasmania or a stadium there at the moment. If that doesn't go through, we'll see what happens. But they didn't, we didn't go to Gold Coast. I doubt we're going to go to Tassie. So we'll see what happens.
Correct. Are you guys trading Powell? No, we're not. Here's why 520k to splurge in defense. 520k is not a lot of money to splurge in defense.
When you say splurge, it's not much.
No.
Who are we picking?
You've only got
Daniel Turner. Get in the bin.
Daniel Turner.
I don't think you can get anyone. Joe reckons Nazai is going to be okay.
Bailey Dale.
Bailey Dale's the one you want, unfortunately.
That's the only one you can get. Bailey Dale. Yo has wrestled the last 4 years. He'll be good. It's pretty funny. Velo is a Blues fan who tipped the Cats. Do you remember McBunn head fumbled in the square for Collingwood? Yeah, freaking Nick Hind. I never want to see this guy.
Yeah,
ever.
And what's his face? Jake Stringer got 100, 100 penalty, and couldn't get a goal from the kick. Shit like that cost you games.
Unreal. That's 630k for a Primo. Can only bring in Sarong, but is there anyone I should consider? Yeah, Sarong's great to bring in this week, Cap and Flash.
Yeah.
Romo, Draper, and Tom Powell for Sweetbot and Tom Green. Wow. Yeah, nice. Very nice. Yeah, you already spread that. It's a bad idea. We've already answered that question. Will Jones even make the team with Green back?
I think so.
That's a question.
I think so. The way he plays just offers something that a few other players don't have. So someone else will make a space for him.
Yeah. I have a feeling Santa's going to go nuts if he gets a chance to play a full game. Big if. Yeah. Gawn, Jackson, Cadman, Dempsey to Dawson, Sarong, and Sweet. I just can't see Jackson Tunning. Also, should I bring in someone like Rogers and wait a week on Sarong and Dawson?
You can. Sarong does have a lowish break even, though. It is 98, so potential for him to go up in money. And Dawson is going to go up in cash. So you're missing out. I don't think that the benefits of holding is worth the probably 40k you're going to spend next week. Maybe.
Probably.
Maybe we'll see.
Probably.
Good.
He's good. We're not going to make him do that, guys. That's rude. Dawson or Fife? Can only choose one. Dawson.
Come on, man.
What is this?
Come on,
I might try and get rid of Livingston in 2 weeks. I'm holding out that Phillips will be named and he can be my loop, but Livingston has no hope. Will just be hard to see Sweet score from the bench.
Well, that's why I've put Sweets. Sorry, that's why I've put Livingston in the forward line. Like,
correct.
You can do it. Sorry, I haven't, but people have. 100% you can get Sweet. Offload a Sexton for a Sweet. Offload any dead rookie for a Sweet. It's 40k. You can make changes in your team to get 40k to make sure you've got Sweet. It sucks. If you've got Gawn in English, cool. You've got 400k on the bench making your money. It's fine.
Exactly.
Last year, a lot of us had not as much cash gen, but a lot of us had, Gawn and probably Rowan Marshall or someone. And then when Briggs popped out a few 140s and ended up being 500k, we just got rid of the player and kept Briggs. So, yeah, you can do it. It's fine.
Exactly. Cadman or Sharp to trade out?
What's Sharp's break even? I don't know if the app's going to.
Yeah, good question.
Harry Sharp's break even is 75. I'd probably get rid of him.
Yeah, and Cadman's still 52. Yep, Sharp goes. Yeah. Nick Martin worth bringing in. I'd say
potentially. Yeah. Potentially. 579. For 50k more, you can get a few other players. Yeah, I like the DPP.
Yeah. Nick Martin can come in. He's Baldella serious pick. He's a very cheap pick. Outside of that, no.
Reminds me of bringing in Ben King last year. That's all I could do, so I brought him in it.
Oh, Mark's changed his profile picture. I love it.
Nice.
Great night, 23-24 SuperCoach this week. A couple of weeks in picks behind side. Okay. Very cool. Dawson for value. Seen all the max mids have faltered. Fair enough. Walsh into Sarong for me on captains.
Yep, that's fair.
Very cool.
Max Gawn.
Yep. Garcia, even worth getting with Libba coming back. I think he's fine because Waitman is out.
Yeah, I think.
Can North merge with my Tigers,
mate? Cool. We'll see.
Bottom was the worst this week. Was 5 minutes out and missed. I know. Yeah. Unreal, Causa. Unreal. And Big J holding on to Steele.
Yep. The plans I've got in my head could potentially have a Jack Steele as my M9. So I want Merritt and Petrarca over the next 2 weeks. I think I can do it cash gen wise. So that means that Merritt Jack Steele stays on the bench. That's okay. I'm happy. We'll see. There's no confirmed injuries or anything like that. So
no,
holding him for right now.
Very nice. And on that note, thank you all so much for watching. We've gone over 2.5 hours. Hope you all had a lovely time here with us on our Monday night. Thank you all so much for your donations in this chat. It has been unreal. Cheese, Adamo, Velo, Mike, Glow, DB,
Mark,
Yaron, Mark,
Mike, G, mate, Trav's going off too.
Thank you all so much.
Remember, you don't have to donate, but it is fantastic that you guys have done that. Hopefully, you've enjoyed the content. Another 2-hour stream on a Monday night. It's becoming a bit of a tradition here on the Centre Bounce, and hopefully you guys can stick around for a lot of that as well over the next few weeks as our teams start to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, there's a little bit of crying in there, Vela. I won't say just how much. I didn't measure how much, but thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't, drop us a like for the stream. Obviously helps the algorithm do its thing. Subscribe if you're new. Still 90 people in here. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell to make sure that you don't miss out on any of the videos and streams that we've got on. Of course, it's Mondays at 7:30 and Thursdays drive home at 5:30. My team review is out. The name is a very, very funny name. I've used the word round twice. So you can comment on that one saying, Joe, your grammar is all over the place. I was crying too much. All right. I was crying too much to do it. And I love it. Michael Long signature. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, Mark. So thank you all so much. Big J, when's your video coming out?
Today or tomorrow. Sorry, it's taken me a while. But yeah, definitely today or tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Awesome, if you haven't already smashed the like button, we've got 84 people on. I know we're not going to get 84 likes, but as much as you guys think it's insignificant, YouTube does like it when it happens. So yeah,
It does.
smash that for us.
Awesome. And on that note, guys, have a lovely night here at the Centre Bounce. We do the hard work.
So you guys don't have to. Watch our streams, have lots of fun, get all the info.
Bye for now.